I'm going to drop a couple bombs on the FD channel right now.
It's very flattering that people are calling us the West Coast Nationals. I don't think we're there yet.
Who are you rolling with?
I am rolling with FD.
I'm rolling with FD.
I feel like I see less patience in the hobby today. I want to get your thoughts on that. When you hear of the large dollar amounts now around PMGs, what do you think?
What it takes for someone to spend that much money on any card.
Fanatics did something tonight I had never heard about. They have a lottery.
We got you on the lot.
Oh my goodness, we're both on the line.
Hey,
I don't think that the fact that they did Be Friends and Jackass is going to have any impact on how they treat sports cards.
So I asked you, FD, since we're rolling with FD.
let's roll, man. What's up?
I never would have thought a little piece of cardboard would change my life the way it has in the last 4 years.
And the hobby is alive and well.
Alive
FD.
and doing very well.
Alive and well.
You gotta let people know who you're rolling.
I'm rolling with FD.
You gotta let the people know who you're rolling with, man.
Well, obviously I'm rolling with FD.
What's up, y'all? How you doing? It is Monday, September 26th. Hopefully y'all can see me. My hand is fading in and out. Technology, man. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes. But it's good to be here. Hopefully everybody can see me. What would people like to talk about? What's up, Gabe? What's going on? So we have Mike coming on here in about 10, 15 minutes. But how are you all doing? How's everybody doing? Everybody good? So we got the Cowboys on tonight. You'll probably see me periodically look to my right or your left, and you'll see me checking out this game here. Let me make sure I can get it on. Yeah, the game is on. It's on silent, but it's on. Gabe, I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here. It's a pleasure. A lot of stuff's going on in sports. A lot of quarterbacks. Just seeing what the NFL game is all about. People walking away hurt, lower extremity issues, high ankle sprains. People have concussions. Every week is a battle. Every week is a war, which is the crazy thing. It's hard to get used to that. I mean, you got Watt out with a pec strain tear. He said he just needs some therapy. We'll see about that. We'll see what's going on. Hey, I had to pause my movie Beauty Shop and join in to make sure I am rolling. What's up? Love what you collect. Beauty Shop. Hold on, let me make sure. I think I've seen this. Beauty Shop. Beauty Shop. Queen Latifah. 2006. Alicia Silverstone. Blue Beauty Shop. Yeah. I've seen it. I have seen it. Funny movie. Thank you for being here, Love What You Collect. Thank you for pressing pause on Beauty Shop and say, you know what, I'm about to jump on over here and roll. I appreciate that. It is a classic movie, full of laughs. Demetrius, what's up? What's going on the West Coast? Well, today we got up to 82 degrees. And right now it's 75. It's a nice day today. Today was a good day. It's a nice day today. From a weather perspective, a good day. Sun's out, birds chirping. So, Love What You Collect. Let me know what made you pop in Beauty Shop today. Let me know something about that. Yeah, but we were talking about football and what's all going on in the sport. Baseball, we got Aaron Judge going for 62 home runs. Do you all think he'll make it? I said no on Pujols, and Pujols made it. Let's see here. You check out Major League Baseball. Let's see here. Yankees play tonight, right now. Second, bottom of the sixth, 2-2, 2 outs. Just for everybody that's counting, 2 at-bats for Judge, 1 hit, 1 run scored, 1 base on ball, 1 K. No home runs. At least not tonight. Demetrius, I'm not boasting. You rocking your shorts at 62 degrees. Yeah, it's coming because you're not too far away from Halloween. You're about 4 weeks away. And we all know that when Halloween comes, dun, 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 we don't know what's going to happen. Chicago could be raining. It could be snowing some years. It could be sleeting. We don't know what's going to happen. So, but I'm not boasting. I wouldn't do that. No. Not at all. So do you all think Judge should hit 62? I think he has double-digit games left. I think he has like 14, 15 games left. You think he can hit it? Let me take this off. Maybe this helps. Does this help? Yeah, maybe that helps. So people can see me. People can check me out. I don't want my head disappearing. You're like, what's up with that guy? Why is his head disappearing? Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking the other day that Judge probably couldn't hit 62. It'd be great for the game of baseball if he could. Now, I'm pretty sure people will say Judge is my single season home run champ over Maris. But we'll see. We'll see if he can. Pujols definitely got there. And let me ask this question. Since Pujols now has 700 home runs, and he joins Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, and some people are adding to that list Barry Bonds, where does that put Pujols all time? I'm just asking. Yeah, swinging at everything to do it. I would think if you're a player and you get to 60 home runs, that you got to feel rushed. Like I have to get this done. Like when in your career, you're going to be that close. It's like back in the day when, well, even now, running for 2,000 yards, I know it's not the same. But running for 2,000 yards in an NFL season is like crazy compared to what the running backs are running now. So when like Jamal Lewis was close, some of these people was close. When Hank Aaron was close to 755, I just imagine some of these records have got to be just crazy. Judge is on pace for at least 64 home runs this season. He is. We'll see. So, Robert, you think juice is still flowing? I'm asking for a friend. Do you think juice is still flowing? Going back to Demetrius' comment, yeah, Judge is on pace for at least 64 home runs. I hope he gets that. He should, on the way he's been hitting them. It seems like pitchers are not trying to walk him or just do whatever. They're actually pitching to him. We're playing baseball here. Judge is on pace to MVP. I think he has to win MVP. Some people are saying that Ohtani is having a very similar year to last year. Why wouldn't he win it? Let me refresh myself with Ohtani's stats. Okay, 149 hits, 34 home runs, batting .271. 549 at bats. Let me see what is his pitching? Oh wow, he's 14-8. 2.47 ERA. He's started 26 games. Ohtani's performing. Ohtani is performing. Robert says yes. Juice is flowing. Ohtani is on pace to be co-MVP. Has there ever been in the history of the MLB co-MVPs. Has anybody seen that? In 1979, National League honor split evenly between Keith Hernandez and Willie Stargell, crowning co-MVPs. Hernandez, already a Gold Glove winning first baseman, put together a season far superior than Stargell. Interesting. So there has been. I know there were co-MVPs in NFL. I do remember one year, probably been many times, but Barry Bonds and Brett Favre both won MVP. And I know baseball and football is different. I'm aware of that. But it'd be interesting if both were crowned. At least that'd give you some headlines, right? Have people talking about baseball. 5 years from now, it will come out. You heard it here first. Oh, Robert is predicting that Judge is taking something. Not confirmed by what's the player or FD. But Robert is saying, and not any Robert that I know, but Robert Stacy is saying the Judge is taking something. But now, am I correct that Major League Baseball has stopped testing for steroids? Correct, right? I don't think Judge is on juice. He's finally getting pitches and refs finally making adjustments to his height. That's the reason for his boom season. You know what's interesting about sports, right? Most of the stuff we'll never know. We'll never know. Barry Bonds never failed a drug test. We'll never know. FD, you don't think the MVP should go to Judge just for the extra press and excitement? No, Ohtani's having a year. I really think this is the time to have co-MVPs. Ohtani is doing something both pitching and hitting that nobody has probably done since Babe Ruth, and he did it also last year and won MVP. Let me read off Ohtani's stats to you from last year. I agree with Demetrius. He is getting press. Let me read some of these stats. So just batting. Last year, Ohtani, and almost the same number of games, had 46 home runs. This year he has 34. He had 100 RBI. This year he has 93. And we still have games to play. He had a batting average of 257 last year. This year he has a batting average of 271. His slugging percentage was 592 last year, 530 this year. His OPS was 965 last year, 887 this year. But let's look at his pitching. Last year he had 9 wins, 2 losses. This year it's 14-8. He had an ERA last year of 3.18. This year it's 2.47. He pitched in almost the same number of games. Last year 23. This year 26. Innings pitched last year 130. This year 153. A few more hits this year. Pitched more. Gave up almost the same number of home runs, 15 and 14. Bases on balls, 44 last year, 42 this year. He's strong in that way. So, I mean, as Black Sheep said, the choice is yours. Would you have Ohtani again? Would you give it to Judge? Ohtani makes a strong argument. What do y'all think in the NFL? Do you think which quarterbacks do you think are legit? Once we get past Aaron Rodgers, we get past Tom Brady, we get past all that. Which quarterbacks are legit? I think this is an unprecedented season where we can see young quarterbacks or backups having to show what they're made of early. I mean, the only quarterback that's kind of sitting behind somebody is Pickett, right? With Pittsburgh, he's behind Trubisky. I don't think there's really anybody else. Unless I'm missing something. So this Cowboys-Giants game, just like I expected, it's pretty low scoring. Let's see how this goes. Hero. Burrow looks like only legit 2020 QB. Ryan looks good in blue and white. Really? You think Burrow's the only legit QB, huh? What about Herbert? No love for Herbert. See, let me check Herbert out here. Like, I think Herbert is a legit quarterback. I think he's playing hurt right now, and he won't say it. But he's a pretty legit quarterback to me. Has an arm, makes good decisions, has some people around him, but he's definitely playing hurt. I watched the game the other day. I would say he was probably, I don't know this, but I would say he's probably shot up at the beginning of the game, probably shot up at halftime. Because one shot at the beginning of the game will not take you through that entire game. But I like Burrow. I like Burrow a lot. I invested in one of his rookie cards. I like him a lot. His RPA. I just like the way he plays the game. I like a quarterback who can forget his last mistake and move on. And Burrow, you don't see him just lingering with it. That doesn't linger with him. He's moving on. Even if he just got blasted and his tackle didn't block for him, he gets up. What's going on? Feed the gods. Good evening, everyone. Our guest, Mike, will be here shortly. I know we got some questions we want to jump into them. It should be a good conversation. I'm looking forward to this. I can tell you that. I don't know if you all, I know a lot of you all have probably met Mike at shows, but it'd be good to get his perspective on stuff. He sees a lot of shows. He's around the country. Be good to talk to him. Smoothness. Jackson playing at an MVP level. Yeah, he is. Jackson is he's stepping up and trying to get that contract, and he's legit. He looks, when I see him in games, he's always looked very focused, but he looks extremely focused. Looks like he's here to prove a point to someone or some people. Hero 3. Herbert isn't looking like Burrow. I like Herbert. Lance looks like Bus. You think so? Jones isn't looking like a TB. And T-Law is up and down. T-Law is up and down. I expect a young quarterback, though, to be up and down. What do y'all think about Tua? Do you think T-Law can make the throws they need to make? A lot of these quarterbacks are being kept, which they should be. Brady was when he first started, kept in a very safe offense. And what I mean by that is that you're throwing the ball to certain people on your checkdowns. Another thing I've noticed is that Herbert will eyeball a certain receiver before he throws the ball to him. It hasn't really hurt or destroyed him yet, but it's probably something that he wants or needs to work on, because that tape is going to get out there. Like, if he's throwing to Mike Williams sometimes, when he comes out, when he gets a snap, he's checking Mike Williams out. I saw Brady the other day. No, I can't compare everybody to Brady. Brady took the snap and was looking this way the whole time and threw over here. Follow the arm. Threw over here and was looking this way. That takes skills. What do y'all think of dangerous? What do y'all think of Russell Wilson, the highest performer right now with Denver? What do you think of that? I still said I'm gonna keep saying this. It looks like Russ is having a problem throwing the football. Because if you're holding, I know this is a water bottle, right? But if you're holding the ball, you gotta get that thumb, right? You gotta get that thumb in there. Thumb helps you release, helps you do a lot of stuff. Looks like Russ is top throwing the ball. Looks like that thumb is there, but it's not really gripping. And he's trying to top load throw the ball. And just like Robert said, if you hear something about this later, know where you heard it first. Hero 3, I would say Mitch T is the floor out of starting QB stuff. That's just my scouting eyes. Dan says Lamar all day. Lamar is balling, people. Balling. Russ' legs look gone too. On tour, Hill and Waddle making him look goodly. They are making him look goodly. Russ, I just don't know what's up. I'm gonna watch more games. This last game I was kind of doing something and watching a game. I'm gonna try to focus in the next Denver game that I can watch, and I'm just gonna watch him. Might even shoot some video and put it out. I'm just gonna watch him and see what he's doing. Russ is like, he says all the right things though. Before the game, after the game, says all the right things. You're not gonna get any sound bites out of Russ to run and motivate the next week's team or to motivate the team that they just beat the next time they play him. He's not gonna do that. Yeah, finally everyone is seeing that Lamar is balling out. Feed the gods. Hopefully Russell will get his stuff together. Kind of want to see a repeat to what Peyton did with them a couple of years back. I hope so. I just don't know. I thought this offense was going to have more firepower than it does. Maybe they're still all learning each other because most people didn't play in the preseason. So maybe they're still like, hey, man, how do you run around? Hey, how do you want the ball thrown at you? Hey, how do you catch the ball? Maybe it's like that. I don't know. But it definitely, you got to think last night, what did they win? 10-11 on a safety? That was strange. It was a different game. Different game. Mike will be on here in a second, just a little bit. And then we're talking about this game tonight. It's almost a repeat of what we saw last night. I mean, low scoring. It's 6-3 right now, people. 6-3. But we got our guest on. I've been looking forward to this conversation all day. Ever since we talked about it. We have Mike here. Let me bring Mike in. Mr. Get It and Flip It. What's up, Mike?
What's up, brother? How you feeling?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. Very, very blessed, man. Sorry I'm a little bit late. We went out.
That's all good. It's all good. Well, here we roll, man. We don't worry about. We're good to go. Yeah. So I wanted to start out. Just kick this off. A lot of people know you. You move around. You're at shows all over the country.
Yep.
It's good to get your perspective tonight and ask you some questions. Okay. Just tell us how you kind of got into cards. Give us some background on Mike.
Well, I mean, you already know I'm from Chicago. We both are. South side, also west suburbs. How I got into cards was roughly like when the pandemic boomed, or not boomed, but when the pandemic happened, I started going to Walmart and Target and flipping retail, taking the investment then and the profit from the retail and buying actual slabs. So, and then I was really informed on the industry by Prism God. I know him as Raphael, but this Prism God kind of opened that door for me and taught me the ways of what the industry really was about with the relationships and how to buy cars and flip cars and the patent. And for me, it became a more so of a passion for the actual hobby, building those relationships and also buying and flipping cards. It's not necessarily how can I say it? It's not necessarily about always the money. And I think he put a post up there a few days ago where it's not always about the profit. It's more so about the relationships. Because like for me and you, we've never done business, but you're definitely a light in this space for me personally. Just the conversation that we've had in Del Mar, like, you know, when I saw you in Del Mar, we had like about a 10, 15-minute conversation. Yeah. But every time we link up, it's always a 10, 15-minute conversation just about life and just about what's going on just in general. You understand what I'm saying? And to me, that's more valuable than always trying to make a flip or just trying to make a profit or anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, exactly what you're saying. So let me throw some quarterbacks at you. We were just talking before you got on a little bit. And you tell me what you think.
Okay.
When I say names. When I say Tua, what do you think?
I think Tua is a good quarterback. I don't think he's great. I think he's still got some things he needs to prove. But I think he's definitely in a good system, in a good position. Okay. I can definitely tell the organization is obviously building around his talent and what he's good at. You know, giving him what he needs. You know, I wish the Bears would do the same thing with Justin Fields, but that's a different story. You know, what I mean?
Fields needs way more help.
Way more help. Way more help.
You can see glimpses of what he can do.
Yeah, he's an amazing athlete. He is an amazing athlete, but you still have to put weapons around him. You have to give him a better O-line, a running game. He has no one to throw to, so he's really out there by himself trying to make something out of nothing. But we 2-1. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take that too because I didn't have won a game in 3 games. So I didn't know that was going to happen. Yeah. When the Bears beat San Francisco, I sat here and watched the whole game. I was shocked.
Yeah.
But you can see a turn in the third quarter. Like that thing was turning. Ship had turned.
Exactly.
So when I say Herbert and Burrow,
I think me personally, I like Burrow more than I like Herbert. I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan. To me, that personally is my GOAT. And I see a lot of Peyton Manning in Joe Burrow. I think Herbert is a good quarterback as well, too. But my preference would be Joe Burrow, personally.
You know, I kind of lean towards Burrow. And I tell people all the time, I said something here about, it's because when he makes a mistake or gets sacked or something happens unexpectedly, he's on to the next play. You don't see him. He looks very focused.
Exactly.
In the huddle, when you see a young quarterback with that kind of demeanor about them, if he can just stay healthy, because he's taking a beating right now.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to touch on too, real quick, is for him to have no protection is pretty much the last 3 years. To get to a Super Bowl last year, and even the first game when he's playing Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? To come back the way he did, it's like with no protection. To me, that just shows you how great and remarkable of a talent that he actually is. You know what I mean? So, like, if he were to have the protection that Justin Herbert has, the opportunities would be endless to me. You know what I mean?
So you said earlier that Peyton Manning is your GOAT. Why not Tom Brady? Why not Tom Brady?
I don't. If I could be transparent, boss, I don't know. I just always took a liking to Peyton Manning. I really don't know. I don't know. Maybe it might be the Tennessee thing. Maybe just growing up, you know, my family's originally from Tennessee, and you know, maybe that's just growing up. I just always saw Peyton Manning, so maybe just that's what that fascination was. But
man, I had a friend tell me 15 years ago.
Yeah,
Tom Brady is the best quarterback I've ever seen, and I was like, no, I'm kind of leaning towards Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And for years, you know, they used to battle and work things out on the field. I was always thinking Peyton Manning until Tom Brady won his 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
And when he came back from 28-3, I'd never seen anything like that. Yeah. But I can Peyton Manning, it's no joke.
Yeah. Peyton is definitely. I mean, to come off the injury with his neck and to throw the most touchdowns in the season. I mean, to me that was just remarkable. To come off that kind of injury to even still be playing. You know, you really one hit away from being paralyzed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you throwing the most touchdowns in the season in the latter years of your career. It wasn't like he was 22, 23 when this happened. He's mid-30s, late 30s. You know what I mean? So to me, that's my favorite quarterback.
So he beat our Bears.
That's not, you know what I mean? No, that's the difference.
I still remember that game, man. When Hester took that kickoff back,
we got it. It's in the bag.
over.
It's over. Then Sexy
You
Red.
know, Ted Ginn Jr. had just done the same thing with Ohio State in the national championship game.
Yeah.
That same year. He started the game off with a kickoff return. And I was like, man, this game is over. But no.
Nope. Shout out Earl. I love Earl.
Marino threw for 5,000 yards in the 80. Yeah, Marino was futuristic.
Yeah.
I mean, Marino lit up the 85 Bears.
Of course.
Lit them up. So, but that's also because the Bears were running a 6-1 defense that no one will run today on that kind of offense. Yeah. So, it is what it is. So, what is your biggest loss and win in the hobby?
I would probably have to say when I first got into the hobby, I put a lot of money into KD. I bought a lot of Kevin Durant, hoping that first year when his I guess his toe was that year when was it last year, the year before. I lost a lot of money with that. So I'd probably say it'd be my biggest loss, is expecting that the Nets would go to the actual finals and they didn't. You know what I mean? So that was probably my biggest loss. I still love KD. KD is probably like, as of right now, next to James Harden and Lonzo Ball, like KD's like my third favorite player in the league right now.
I think KD is getting disrespected.
Yeah, I think, but he's not like I don't want to say he's not a likable guy, but he's not like what everybody wants. He doesn't do what you want him to do. He's going to move how he wants, and some people might not be acceptable to that. But as far as the talent on the court, it can't be denied.
No.
As of right now, probably, if not one, definitely 2 to 3. You know what I mean? I think Kawhi's up there. LeBron is LeBron. You know, LeBron is the greatest player as of right now for the last 20 plus. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, and I know people have started using the term with KD, greatest scorer in this era. I've heard that phrase kicked around a little bit.
Yeah.
I think people are trying to crown him with something, but he is definitely. What man is 7'1", 7 foot tall, that moves like that, dribbles like that, will cross you over, take you to the cup, shoot the three, has a mid range? Who is that? I don't think there's ever been a player in the history of the NBA.
Maybe closest was Hakeem, just because Hakeem's footwork and his ball skills at a 7-footer. Obviously, they play two totally different positions, but I would say somebody at that size that was mobile like KD is mobile. And Kareem had a shot. I mean, he didn't really shoot threes, but Kareem did. He could step out, that 10, 15 mid-range, and it's wet. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure if he really shot threes, he probably would hit threes, but that was a totally different era of basketball.
Well, that's the question I have. Like, when you look at Shaq, you're talking about Kareem. Yeah. Those big men weren't required to go out and shoot a three.
No, but they have a different game when it comes to, especially Shaq. It's a different game. Shaq is all power, where it's like I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm moving you out the way. You can't do anything, and if you do, it's a foul. If I miss it or make the free throw, I'm definitely going to hit this dunk. I'm going to get this layup. You know what I mean?
Yes. It'd be interesting though to see how those players would adapt it, because I believe when you're a great player, dominant at your position, GOAT potential, however you want to put it. When those players need to step up and adapt, they will. Like, people always say, well, Jim Brown, who was Jim Brown running against? But if you put Jim Brown in any era, Jim Brown's going to do his thing. He was only running for 12 games a season. Now we have 17.
Right.
And he still put up his yards. So I think he's kind of playing. I think Kareem, like you said, will step out, hit a three.
Yeah. But like I said, it's a different game. It's just a different game. That's all.
Yep. Where do you see the market going? Let me ask you a market question.
Yeah, what's going on?
Where do you see the market going? 6 months, 12 months? What are your thoughts?
I mean, obviously, I think it's going to shift, the focus of going from basketball to football. I mean, from football to basketball. I mean, I personally think the market is in a good space. I know a lot of people feel like it's not. I personally feel like it's in a good space. I think maybe, like how you're talking about adapting, maybe you have to adapt a little bit to what's going on. But I think the market is still in a good space. Maybe you just have to be more selective on the things that you buy. You're not being so broad on just buying this and that. You're just being very selective. But I think the market's in a good space.
I too think the market's in a good space, and I have done just what you just said. I have adapted to What am I buying? Trying to be selective on certain things. None of us really know.
Of course.
But it has made me tighten the screws a little bit on what am I actually looking at when I walk in the show. Now I can still be surprised.
Of course.
I didn't think I would see, but it makes me think about things a little bit differently.
What are you right now?
Things change over time. Mike Anthony says Jalen Hurts is a beast, man. Told you guys.
Yeah, of course.
They're Super Bowl contenders. Glad I invested heavily.
Yeah, I think he was a sleeper. He was a huge sleeper.
Is it because I wonder? It's because he. One could say he's undersized, but he has heart.
Why do you say he's undersized?
How tall is Hurts?
I thought he was like 6'2", right? 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, 6'2" as a quarterback is.
That's fair.
Yeah.
6.
You're not Doug Flutie.
No, but I mean,
you're not 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". But he's mobile.
But I feel like not a lot of quarterbacks are really that tall. Like Tom Brady's only like 6'3".
Is that all he is?
Yeah, I mean, like Peyton is 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, Peyton was a big guy.
You know. But as far as I think 6'2", 6'3" is fair. You can see over the line.
That's
you
true.
know what I mean? It's not like you're 5'11".
So when he was in college, did you think he had a stronger arm than Tua?
I think so.
Because I definitely think so now.
Yeah, I think he's a better player than Tua, just all around. But yeah, I think he had a better arm. Yeah, he's better. He's a better mobile quarterback, better decisions, and that's another quarterback. Same thing with Tua, that they really have built around his talent and built around trying to win a championship around a young quarterback.
I agree.
I think he's in a good position to win. I mean, and the numbers that he's putting up, bro, like, and they got a defense that, man, I think they can really do something. And they got a light schedule. They don't have a crazy schedule. So.
It'll be interesting. What do you think of Mac Jones?
I hope he's okay. That's first. But I don't like him as much as I like Jalen Hurts. I think he is a good quarterback. I think he's in a good system. Obviously, he's got probably the greatest coach to ever coach football.
Sure.
But I think he's an average quarterback in a great system.
I agree.
He's not Tom. He's not Tom. Maybe it's too early to determine that, but I don't think. Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback in a great system.
I agree with that. They keep him under control.
Yeah, but I hope he's okay though. Hopefully, he doesn't have a serious injury last night.
Whenever someone uses the term high ankle sprain, man, that can mean anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have muscle detached from the bone down to a sprain.
Exactly. He looked like he was in some pain, so it looked like he was going through it.
Yeah, it looks like he was struggling there. Dex Flow, FD. Growing up, one of my favorite wrestlers was Junior Fatu. Any chance you add the Fatu name to your son, Junior? Let's start cleaning. He's Samoan. I can't fake the funk, man. Junior's not Samoan. So probably not. But I do appreciate you bringing up Junior Fatu. We laugh around here sometimes with Junior about the different Junior names there are. Like him and I watch sports, and you will see a Junior, and then he'll say, "Oh, that's a Junior too," but probably not Junior Fatu. I feel AJ Brown joining Eagles is doing same as Bills when they got Diggs. I'm looking up the other day. I didn't know that AJ Brown has been playing 4 seasons. 4 or 5. I thought he was playing longer than that, man.
I mean, he got to was it 18?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a nice receiver.
Yeah.
He's a leader.
Yeah. He's a great first or second option for sure. Yeah. For sure. And like I said, you got the 1-2 punch with Devontae Smith. Like the Eagles are going to do some damage. They're going to do some damage.
Did you see the catch Devontae made yesterday?
I didn't. I got to the air. I saw we was at the. I went to the. It's crazy. I was at the Philadelphia show yesterday, and then me and Ralph had got to the airport, and we got like the second half, maybe even like the fourth quarter of the Eagles game. So,
well, Devontae does a long pass.
Yeah,
that's almost down to the 2 or 3. He jumps up almost over a guy's shoulder and he's like bent in an awkward position, catches the ball, comes down hard, man. Comes out hard to where you can knock the wind out of yourself.
Yeah.
And was still celebrating the catch. But you could tell it was affecting him.
Yeah.
He's different, man.
Yeah. He's a beast. But he's a young boy though. He's young. You know what I mean? So you got to take advantage of his youth. You know what I mean? He's fresh legs, his energy, like you said, he probably was out of breath, but still celebrating. Like, he's just a ball of energy. So, you got to ride that out, and hopefully they can ride that to a Super Bowl.
And what's cool is that AJ and him complement each other. What is that safety going to go? Who are they going to double team?
You can't double team. You can't. It's got to be man to man.
You're going to have a problem. So, Mike, I don't think we ever talked about this. You played sports growing up?
I played basketball growing up.
What position? 2?
Man, I played the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. It's like, as I was younger, I was taller than everybody else, so I played the 5 growing up. And then it was like when I kind of got to like high school, I kind of like was like mid, so I kind of got to like to the 3, to the 4. Then I started doing AAU, and I was shorter than everybody else, and I was a guard.
Yeah, it's good to know. AAU ball, huh?
Yeah. The Bulls Academy.
Yeah.
And in Illinois, Lisle, Illinois,
mm-hmm.
The Bulls Academy for like 2 to 3 years before going into high school.
Who were some of the players you played against?
Nobody like crazy.
Big names.
To be honest with you, boss, it was like nobody super crazy. No big names, to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
So how often do you send cards in to be graded? And then let me know your thoughts on like the top grading companies, BGS, PSA, SGC. Yeah. Let me know what you think of them.
Me personally, bro, I don't grade too much. When I do grade, depending on which card it is, I might select certain things to go to BGS compared to going to PSA, depending on what I think it might grade with.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I feel like BGS grades very hard compared to PSA, even though PSA holds more value depending on the slab. But I think, obviously that's where I feel like the gold is when you buy something that's raw, you get a PSA 10, you get a BGS 9.5, quad 9.5. Obviously that's where it is grading. But me personally, I don't grade that much. But that is something that I'm definitely going to get into more, because definitely that's when I've seen the biggest profit is buying something raw or cracking the slab and crossing it over and getting a better grade.
So I've been trying to evaluate a car more raw myself, and understand what am I buying raw to get it graded. And I probably have just started, man. I'm probably since we saw each other at Del Mar.
Yeah.
Like really starting to get into that. Before I will see a raw card and be like, that's a nice card, and keep moving.
Yeah.
I actually started looking at what's the centering like. Let me see the surface out of a top loader, things like that.
Because you never know, bro. I mean, I'll be transparent with you, boss. I've seen people buy PSA 8s and they come back 9.5s. You know what I mean? So it's like, or buy a PSA 7, it comes back a PSA. They resubmitted with PSA and it comes back a PSA 10. It's just like it's so subjective on that grader. You know what I mean? On what they see, what they don't see. What they feel is this bad, that bad. But you never want to pass up an opportunity. You know what I mean? So I look at everything: raw cards, low grades, everything. Because you never want to miss an opportunity.
I just learned something from you.
Yeah.
I take knowledge from wherever I can get it. But that is true. I've never really thought about it like that. I know, Mike, you see a lot of the country, you see a lot of stuff. So tell me about the Philly show. How was it?
Wasn't as expected, but you got to make something out of money. I mean, make something out of nothing, man. Slow money better than no money. Y'all see this? You see it? No talk, just hustle. So, you got to make something out of nothing. So you got to find those deals. You got to talk to everybody. I come from a corporate background, a sales background. I was working for AT&T for like 8.5, 9 years. So, in sales. So I'm used to just engaging with people. Just, hey, how you doing? Something as simple as, hey, how you doing? Can change somebody's day or make them open up a little bit or feel more comfortable. You know what I mean? So I asked everybody that was walking past the table, hey, you guys selling anything? You trading anything? If you guys got any questions, just open conversation. Somebody might be like, hey, I'm not selling anything. You have an open conversation about a particular player. And then boom, they might have their whole collection might just be all LeBrons. And they're like, you know what, man, I might let this one go. And, you just, like I said, you never pass upon an opportunity. That's why you got to say something to everybody.
That is true. You never know. And you know that.
Of
A lot
course.
sometimes don't have cards on their table. Maybe their cards are sitting behind them. Some other cards they want to get into when you have a conversation with them. And I found too that some people may have great cards of a player that they don't support the team. They don't really hold cards of that kind of team. Like I remember seeing someone here one time that had a low print run prism of Jason Tatum, 2020. So it was something that like he didn't like Boston Celtics,
right?
And you get into a conversation, you just never know.
That's how I feel about the Bulls. Like I don't really buy any Bulls players, but that's my team.
That's my team too. I don't really buy any Bulls players.
I'll buy a Derrick Rose card, but I mean, I don't even know if he's playing for anybody right now.
I don't really buy that. But do I know where they're at in the standings? Who they just played last night? Am I looking at the highlights? Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like when Ball just went down and has to have surgery, I was like, man, I was waiting on him to come back and what he was about to do.
So let me ask you this: how do you feel about the Bulls now?
I like them. They're young. I see a lot of energy from last year. I just want people to stay healthy. Well, I don't know what that team could have done last year if people stayed healthy.
Yeah.
I still can't believe they got Caruso because I used to watch him all the time with the Lakers. I don't know why the Lakers let him go. So I hope they do well. I just want to see people stay healthy. Then when it gets to playoff time, we got to find out who's taking that last shot, who's stepping up, things like that, which should work their way out during the season. Hopefully, it's certain players and not other players. So, but I think that they'll figure that out.
Let me ask you this.
What's up?
How do you feel about Lonzo Ball and Ant-Man? Who do you choose between those two?
I just feel like it's a great question, Mike. I feel like I need to see more defense. Now, I know you would have good. That's why I told you come with them because I know we had a conversation in Delmar, so I got a glimpse of how you think.
Right.
So I want to see more defense from both.
Agreed.
Lonzo, he takes time off in a game. Like there's times I'm watching him and he's like chilling, just run the court, may throw a pass, whatever happens. And I don't know if that's a maturity level thing with him or what that is. It seems like he zones out and then sometimes he zones in.
Right.
Ant-Man, I need to see more defense from him. I like the way he wants to take the ball down your throat. Like he wants to take it to you. So I like that about him.
Okay.
And I even think about him past Minnesota because I don't know how long he's going to be in Minnesota.
So you don't think he's a franchise player in Minnesota?
I don't think so. No.
I feel like his career for the moment, I feel like it's probably going to go how Donovan Mitchell is. That's how I feel like Ant-Man is. Because I feel like they're the same player. I just feel like D Mitch just has a little bit of a better jumper. But I feel like they're definitely the same player, more offense than defense, but they can play defense when want to play defense. But let me ask you this: so, how do you feel about? Did you hear about Leandro, right? Ball.
Yeah, on the team.
So, how do you feel about that dynamic?
I mean, he's an outside shooter. I hope he makes it through the whole season with him. I don't see much defense from him either. I didn't see anything at UCLA the brief time he was there. I didn't see anything in Chino Hills. It's not that far away. So I used to watch these guys in high school all the time.
Were they really like that in high school?
Pardon me?
Were they like that in high school? Were they really?
They were scoring.
Okay.
They were scorers, man.
Okay.
They were scoring the ball. LaMelo would pull up anywhere. They had no conscience. They would pull up anywhere. And Lonzo he would pull too, but he was kind of a facilitator for them.
He's more of a playmaker.
Yeah.
He's more of a playmaker. And
that's who they are in the NBA. Like, I think LaMelo wants to pull and do that stuff, but he just fades in and out of games, man.
I feel you. I think LaMelo is going to be that guy. And I've been saying this to Sky and saying it to Ralph. I think LaMelo is really going to be, after LeBron leaves, I think LaMelo is going to be the face of the NBA.
Really?
I think this year he's going to have that come out party. I feel like with Miles Bridges being gone, right?
Yeah.
I think he's obviously I feel like he's going to have to take on more of the scoring load.
He is.
Okay. And I think with him having, if they're going to give Jello the actual time that I feel like he should deserve with his brother, I think what you're talking about at Chino Hills is going to be in the NBA, and which what his dad was saying. What his dad was saying is 4 or 5 years ago. Put my sons together on a team and see what they. I just think that chemistry, because did you play basketball? I know you played football growing
No,
up.
I didn't play basketball.
Okay, that chemistry, especially, I feel like obviously Jello is going to be a 2-3. He's not going to be like a 4 or 5. He'll be a 2-3. I think with that dynamic, boss, that chemistry, just like my brother's going to make this shot.
Let me just ask you one devil's advocate question.
Yeah.
Right? What have you seen from LaMelo that makes you think that he's going to be on that level one day?
Because I see him, he can take over a game. Like you said, when he's locked in, when he focused, so you have the ability to do it. You have to have the attitude and the demeanor. You have the ability. You can drop 30. You can give me 30, 10, and 10 a game, bro. You can average 20, 10, and 10 a game. Easy. Easy. You can do that. You feel me? Because he's almost averaged triple-double his whole career. He's almost averaged that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just the growth.
So let me just tell you who he reminds me of.
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony. And I'm going back to Carmelo Anthony with the Denver Nuggets, coming out of Syracuse. You will watch him. He will fade in and out of games. And this is when he was asked to be the man.
Right.
He would kind of fade in and out. Then they brought in Allen Iverson.
Right.
And he kind of took the backseat to Allen Iverson, still fade in and out.
Right.
And still right now, if you watch the Lakers, LaMelo is just tiptoeing the three-point line.
Yeah.
He's not playing defense, not doing anything else. 9th all-time scoring.
But that's what Melo was. Like you didn't, like looking at Melo and looking at Bron, like, I'm old enough to remember them being drafted and remember their rookie years, really being blessed to see their whole careers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the difference between LeBron and Melo, is that Melo, you're a scorer and that's what you're good at. That's what you do. You don't really want to do anything else. Where LeBron was like, I can score, but I can really do everything else. I can rebound pretty good. I can definitely assist pretty good because I probably got the best handles on the team. But he's an all-around player, where Melo is just, give me the ball, I'm gonna get buckets. And my dude, that works, but you can't be the man doing that. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to say it, but like that's how I feel about Kobe as well. Like you can't really.
Let's talk. We can talk Kobe.
We could talk Kobe then, but it's like it's the same thing. It's like, I've always felt Kobe is a very good player. He's definitely top 10. I don't know if I can say Kobe Bryant is top 5, but he's definitely top 10. I think Shaq was definitely the better player on definitely those 3 championship teams, 110%. Not taking anything away from Kobe, but when it comes to playing basketball, like you can't just be that guy to just score. And see, that's the difference between like Kobe and Jordan, is that Jordan really he's a great scorer, but Michael Jordan really is a great playmaker. He is a great playmaker that just happens to be an exceptional scorer. Yes. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's the difference. You understand what I'm saying? So, because Michael Jordan really is a shooting, he's really a point guard that just grew to be 6'6" and just was athletic as heck. You understand?
Break it down. Absolutely right. I think the same way. It's interesting that a lot of people can't visualize the difference between Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Even when they watch the games, they can't see it.
I think a lot of people.
I think Mike froze. I know he will be back. But I've talked to a lot of people about Kobe and Mike. A lot of people think they're the same player. And they're not the same player. It's almost impossible to me in professional sports to have at that level, football, basketball, even baseball, the same player. So many different ways to do it. Send Mike a note. Oh, he'll be back. This is a great conversation. I can't wait to continue this conversation. I love talking sports with Mike. I love talking hobby with him too. Oh, Mike, you're back. Go ahead, man. You're back on. Do you see me?
Bro.
Can you hear?
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
I'll say this. Some of the best interviews I've had. We have technical difficulties. That's why we keep rolling. Don't worry about this. Mike is going to restart. He'll be right back. Feed the God says, couldn't you have a quote unquote big brother, little brother dynamic for who's better than the other? Like how Kobe and MJ? I guess you could. I don't think anything's off the table. I feed the gods. I just say this: if you come through and do something, and then I come behind you and act just like you and kind of do things just like you, a lot of people are going to look at the first person who did it.
Can't I hear anything? I can. I don't know if you can hear me, boss. I can't hear you. Give me 1 second. Let me try to restart this one more time.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that's just how I think of it. You know, people. Who was it? One of Kobe's teammates said he had some film of Michael Jordan. Kobe asked to borrow it on VHS. Never saw it back. Kobe was watching. What's Mike doing? He got his tongue out. What is he leaning this way? What is he shooting that way? What's the footwork looking like? So I mean, I don't know. Believe me, I respect Kobe Bryant. In my top 10 list, I have him number 5. But I respect those who say he's 6 through 10. Mike, you good?
We good. Sorry about that.
Hey, you're good, man. Don't even worry about it.
Sorry about that. But we talking about Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe.
About Kobe and Mike, yeah. But I think
I asked a question yesterday to someone, and I said, well, a question came up on a live here before where someone asked the question, did Michael Jordan play anyone legendary in the finals? So then I asked the question, I said, well, I think that question is really for LeBron James. So LeBron James playing anybody legendary in the finals. And then I started asking, thinking about Kobe Bryant. Like, who did Kobe Bryant play that was legendary in the finals after Shaq left? He played Boston, but Lakers and Boston won 1-for-1. So Kobe really got that 5th ring beating the Orlando Magic and Dwight Howard.
But Dwight was a beast at the time. Like I'm not gonna.
But who else was on that team? You had Turkoglu. You had Rashard Lewis. Who else was on that team?
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that. It wasn't necessarily, it was like a stacked team. And I especially feel like in the East at that time during Kobe's era or his reign, where, you know, it definitely wasn't that much competition in the East at all. So,
No.
you know, and the biggest competition is, like you said, was like Boston, and they went 1-for-1.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You know, Kobe didn't necessarily, without Shaq.
Yeah, without Shaq.
Yeah, without Shaq.
They balled out together.
Yeah,
they played some Hall of Famers together.
Agreed. Yeah. Okay, but people got to understand, like, Pau Gasol wasn't a scrub, man.
No, he wasn't.
Pau Gasol was a beast. And Andrew Bynum, I'm not gonna say, for those 2 years, he was doing this thing as well too.
He was.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, he has some players. Like Kobe has some beasts on his team, man. Like Pau Gasol was a 20 and 10 all day. All day. And we just talking about a 7-footer stretching out, hitting the mid range, and somebody hitting threes. Pau could hit threes at 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then Lamar Odom was just the X factor.
Well, don't do that.
He was something else.
Y'all ain't ready about that. That was, man. What? Hey,
he was a player.
He was a beast.
Even back at Rhode Island, you knew like this guy's different.
He could ball, and he was almost 7 feet too, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
6'10". So I mean, that was maybe a little KD before KD, a 7-footer that could put it on the ground, could do a little something. You know what I mean?
Yep. President Thing says Kobe is a carbon copy of MJ without the ability to make his teammates better. Kobe would lead offensively, but the rest of his teammates won't follow.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between Michael Jordan really being a playmaker that's an exceptional scorer, and Kobe just only being an exceptional scorer. That's the difference.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's a good analysis, good breakdown. So tell me about, I know you travel.
Yeah.
How you decide what shows you're going to? And like what's your strategy kind of for selection and all of that?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing I've pretty much been talking about on the live so far is like, you want to take the biggest opportunity all the time, right? So I try to, when I go to shows, see which one is going to be the biggest show with the most tables that gives me the most opportunity to make something happen. Sometimes, also to like cost, like if it's a show in California, but there's a show in Dallas or there's a show in New York, and it might cost half the cost to go to Dallas compared to going to New York and going to, I'll just go to Dallas. You know what I mean? If it, so that's how I determine where I'm going to go. Also to the market as well too. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to go to Del Mar for sure because it was a great experience all around the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think it's at this time like 450 tables, 500 tables. You know what I mean? So there's ample amount of opportunity to make something happen.
What was another question I wanted to ask you? We talked about selecting shows. You've seen so many different markets.
Yeah.
What are some? Do certain markets, and you don't have to name the market because I don't want anybody to be like, "What in my market?" But when you see different markets, do you notice different characteristics, buying characteristics?
Oh yeah, of course.
Speak on that.
I mean, obviously, we'll say prime example, right? Trae Young, right? Well, I'll just take Atlanta. Trae Young. Trae Young sells the best here, guaranteed. Every time I buy anything Trae Young, I come right here and I've got 2 to 3 buyers. Is okay. I'll do this. Automatically. But taking those same cards and maybe going to California, going to Dallas, going to New York, or even something as simple as going to Nashville or going to Raleigh or going to Salisbury or, something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to move as well. So obviously like Luka most likely for me is always moved very well in Dallas because that's where he plays. That's his market. Mm-hmm. So certain, obviously that being said, that's just depending on what player it is and how good they are, I think as well too. Like going like to New York, I'm not going to sit here and say RJ Barrett is something that sells highly in New York. For me, I don't want to speak on anybody else, but I can definitely say going to Dallas, Luka moves pretty well. You feel me?
Yep.
So, and I think also too, in certain markets, maybe they're not looking for higher end cards of certain players as well too. You feel me? Yeah. Where like in a market like Atlanta, it's pretty lucrative. You understand what I'm saying? So you have a wide range of people that are buying low end, mid, and high. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Where sometimes you might go to a certain market, they might just be really interested in like mid-tier cards. They might not want to spend like, the thousands of dollars on this particular player, even if they play for that city. You know what I mean? So
I've always wanted to ask you that question, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you have seen a lot of this country.
Yeah.
And you know what's selling where. Probably one of the better people. I hope people will know who Mike is. I mean, one of the better people to talk to about getting a gist real quick of what's going on in the country when it comes to the market. That's why I wanted to ask you the question about what did you think 6 months, 12 months, what were you thinking? Because you see so much. You talk to so many different people.
Exactly.
You've been I think about the places that I go to. I'm probably pretty much West Coast.
Yeah.
I can tell you West Coast what I'm saying, but no West Coast to the lens you have.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the shows in California? And do you mostly just stay in Southern Cal? Do you go?
I've been to the Bay Area. I've been to the Bay Area once or twice.
Okay.
I'm pretty much in LA.
Okay.
I've been in San Diego with Del Mar. I'll be back in Del Mar.
Okay.
So I was saying this the other day. When I started the channel,
right.
I said to myself, LA is the second largest city in America. Right. We should be, and then when I'm thinking about LA, I'm thinking about Bay as well. I'm thinking about San Diego. I'm thinking about the whole state kind of. That should be more of a draw here to get people flying out, man. When we first started, boom, people are gone.
Right.
And people asking me, well, are you going to Dallas? Are you flying to Philly? Are you going to New York? Are you going to Boston show? And I'm thinking to myself, this is the second largest city in America. Like, why isn't more stuff happening here?
Yeah.
So now with what the Card Addict and all of them do up in the Bay Area and other shows in the Bay Area, and what the union has done in San Diego, and there are other people that do shows in San Diego that I've talked to. I want to go down that show. And we tried to just get all over LA. Like we try to go to every LA show, try to support, help promote LA. I just felt like there was a day coming. So when Burbank had that show, you was there. You felt that vibe.
Yeah.
When Burbank now is coming back on Super Bowl weekend, there's a buzz there.
In Ontario, right?
Yeah, going to Ontario, going to a bigger venue. We talked about a lot on the show. We had Jay on from doing Burbank and Premiere here. It's going to be 400 something tables, 440. I don't think it's been a certain number determined yet. You got 70,000 square feet of sellable space for people to be walking around. You have a table there that's really an ATM. So I could come up and sell some cars and go straight to Mike and say, hey, I'm looking for that Luca, whatever it is. So now I'm liquid all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that place just it just starts building and building. So when I was at Union and I've been up north to the Bay Area and then I was at Burbank, this is what I was thinking 15 months ago.
Yeah.
Like this is what we need. So I believe going forward, the West Coast is going to be a draw for people.
I'll be honest with you, bro. There is no market I have been to like California when it comes to cars. Like you said, I personally think it's the ultimate market for my card experience. Okay. You know, the first time we went to California, it wasn't for any kind of big show. It was really just to kind of go and see what was out there. Mm-hmm. And it was, I want to say, was top of 2021. We called it the California Card Tour. Okay. So what we did was we just got on Beckett, we got on Show Locator, and just any show that we could drive to, we would. We found out about Franks and Sons. We went to it was one I want to say was it Coffee and Cards?
Yeah,
Cards and Coffee. So it was just, to me, we went to Melrose Cars. I know it's not there anymore. I know Dabs is there. Shout out.
I think I first saw you.
Yeah.
And Raphael at Melrose Cars. That was the first day we went out filming.
Right, exactly. And you was with G. Yep, you was with G. I remember that. I remember that vividly. So it's like, and then we met at was it Mark's Cars? Mm-hmm. At that show as well too. So it's like that weekend I actually met you. Like I said, we were going on like a tour, just going across.
Oh, I didn't know that, man. I didn't know that. So really, like, we were starting the show at the same time y'all were visiting and doing a market blitz.
Exactly.
I did not know that. Okay.
And to me, it was just the experience at Burbanks. Like, shout out Burbanks as well too. That is just, that was one experience. And then, you know, we took us to the car fathers, took us to the back of the original store, not the new store now, but the original store, and just seeing just the index of just cars that they had in the back, and just the business practices as well too is what I was very fascinated by, because I've been to a lot of hobby shops, but I haven't had that experience inside of a hobby shop like going to Burbank's Cars. So I think you guys are very fortunate to have that experience right there in your backyard.
I agree with you. Agree with you totally. Because I used to, back in the day when I would take vacations, I would go to shops anywhere I was. So I remember going to a shop in Miami. I've been in shops in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been different places over time. I just have never seen the organization. And if you want a card, I'm going to go in the back, and there are 4 million cards back here. And I'm going to pick this card up right here
and give it to you.
I can ship it to you, or I can sell it to you. Just that level of organization is it's like almost far-fetched. Exactly. I've been in shops where there's no organization
at all,
none, and no interest in ever having it
at all.
No,
and then
engaging people.
It's also the warmth. It's not even necessarily the business that you guys are doing with the cars. Like I said earlier, like how Ralph made that post about, it's not always about the money, it's about the relationships. So like the warmth, the embrace that you get from the employees, from everybody that works there. You understand what I'm saying? That's what draws you to that place.
I agree. Totally agree. Never been there, had a bad experience. Never been there, didn't get in a conversation with either Rob or someone.
Ray, shout out Ray.
Yeah, Ray is real cool.
That's my man. Shout out Ray. We was in Phoenix. I was in Phoenix with Ray, Ray and Tim. You know Tim Cook?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we was out there in Phoenix. What was Phoenix? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago. So yeah, shout out to
you know Tim Cook is one of my favorite people, man.
Man, Tim's a legit guy, bro.
Cool dude, man.
He's a legit guy. Shout out Tim, man.
Yeah, all the way around. Every time you see him, same guy. You ask a question about something, he's willing to help. I've had some, you were the first person. I'm gonna say this. You're the first person that kind of turned me on. We were hitting each other with some messages back in the day. Yeah. Just hey, do you know this person selling on Instagram? And so I had a situation where I was trying to buy a car, and Tim and EJ were 2 people I hit up immediately. Like, do you know this individual that's trying to sell these cars? They spoke up, said they knew him, what they knew about him. It was all positive, all good. But I kind of picked that up from you.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking back when Mike had hit me, like, and I remember, like, I only bought cars at one point off of a site, like a eBay or some other site. But when you start growing your network and getting to know people, it changes the whole game.
It changed the whole dynamic, yeah.
Everything is different.
Of course.
So I remember, and I picked nuggets up, like you talked about some stuff here today. And when you started asking me about people, I said, well, let me first try to build a relationship with folks, meeting folks, seeing folks, this and to get to know them, see what they sell, and then try to ask them about cars as they come up, and then start the negotiation process. And I want to tell everybody out there, right? I've collected cars since I was 8. There was no Instagram.
Yeah.
There was no YouTube. So when people have nuggets, Mike hit me with a nugget of knowledge. When people have nuggets of knowledge to give you, I always say just listen, because everybody has something to contribute in a conversation that you can probably hear and learn something from. Mike just told me tonight about, hey, look at a car, man. That could be a PSA 7. Does it look clean in that slab, though?
Right. I mean,
never heard about that before.
And that's speaking off experience. You know what I mean? But I'll say this as well too. I'll give you the reverse side of it. You might get a 9, think it might 9.5, and it comes back at 8.
True.
Comes back at 8.5. So I can give you both sides, but at the same time, you still have to take the opportunity. You have to take the risk. You know what I mean? You got to take a chance.
Sure. Love What You Collect says, loving a combo, my guys. Prism and Thing says, what, Mr. GetItNFlipIt, what percentage are you a flipper versus a collector? Who is currently in your PC?
Well, my PC person, like I talked earlier, Derrick Rose. I'm like I said earlier, we from Chicago, from the South Side, also the West Burbs. So Derrick Rose is the second coming. You understand what I'm saying? Like you made it, Pooh. You know what I mean? So I have some Derrick Rose posters, some Derrick Rose cards. And
hey, you know, if you're in Chicago, man, and you talking about Simeon High School,
yeah,
you started talking about Ben Wilson, and
man,
you started talking about, bruh.
Yeah.
I was just talking to a friend from Chicago the other day, and we were just talking about Len Bias and Ben Wilson. What could have been.
Yeah.
And I can remember being in elementary school when the whole Ben Wilson thing went down, and Chicago kind of shut down, man.
Yeah.
But when you get past those people, Derrick Rose, man.
Derrick Rose, the truth. I mean, and we're gonna get into it. Let's talk. So look, Derrick Rose is the greatest point guard in his prime, and I stamped that. In his prime, he is the greatest point guard to ever touch a ball.
You and I talked about this before. I can't disagree.
In his prime,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But to answer also the other gentleman's question, as far as my PC, I anything Chicago. So like I got some common cards. Also just Black history as well too. I've got some Tuskegee Airmen cards as well too. So my biggest thing with my PC is Chicago. So like if I see like a Bernie Mac patch or Kanye West card, Common, you know, like I said, Derrick Rose, even Jabari Parker. Like I'm a Jabari Parker guy.
He was real.
And I'll keep it real. Even Iman Shumpert. I'm an Iman Shumpert guy as well too. You know what I mean? So Tim Hardaway. So all of
Tim just won the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
You know, shout out Tim. You know what I mean? So that, you know, people from Chicago that I grew up watching. You know what I mean? That's my piece.
Yeah, I remember that, man. Because every once in a while you're someplace and you'll see something Chicago related.
Exactly.
We'll remember that. Yeah. Big John says, "Hey FD, what's up, Big John? What's going on?
What's your PC?
Who, me?
Yeah.
You know I love Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, some Kobe Bryant. It all depends on. Like I purchased a Star Date card of Kobe. It was a card I always wanted. I'm prospecting on James Wiseman.
Why James?
Just what I've seen him do in a short amount of time. Let me say this: the ceiling of his game is high. He's a 7-footer. He can shoot the 3, 31% clip. Mm-hmm. That's being 19 years old.
And that's fair.
He has a mid-range game. He can back you up, post you up, shoot out of the post. He can take the ball to the cup, and he was blocking one shot a game.
Do you think he's injury prone?
No, I think he got hurt once.
Okay.
And then if you look at a lot of players in the NBA, we talked about like tonight, Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant. There's a bunch of players you can name who tore their meniscus at some point. So I think they say he's put on 10, 15 pounds of muscle. I think he has the potential just with that offensive game to be dangerous.
I agree.
And you put Steph out there. You got Clay out there. You got Draymond in his ear coaching him. You got Iggy coming back. And then we already know what Wiggins is doing.
Agree. Yeah.
I think it takes certain pressure off of him. Like he doesn't have to come out and be a dominating player. He really needs to come out and average 9, 10 points a game, 9 to 10 rebounds a game, and maybe about a half to one shot a game. And James Wiseman is doing very well for himself. And he's only 21 years old. So if we get him to 25, 26, is when I think you're going to start seeing similar stuff that you could see to what Jokic, who was a second-round pick, Embiid, who was hurt when he was drafted. Now, you're talking about injury prone.
Yeah, but he's been good the last 2 years, though.
Yeah, he's been good the last 2 years. But at one point, you know what, Mike? I remember back. I tell people this story. I remember when Michael Jordan broke his foot.
Yeah.
And people say he was a boss.
But that was a different kind of injury, though.
He broke his foot.
I mean, he broke his foot, but I feel like it's different. I mean, you're an athlete. It's different between breaking a bone and tearing something.
Well, it's your meniscus, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, man, you can tear your meniscus picking up a paper in your front yard.
Of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
meniscus tear. And then when you're so young like that, that tear over time could probably heal itself up to 75 to 80% of the original meniscus.
I just feel like for you to be as big as you are, to be a big man, to have knee problems already, and I understand people, it's just a meniscus, but that matters. 82 games, 7 feet tall, two whatever, 260, 270, 280,
Something like
up
that.
and down the court, back and back. Like it, that's a lot of wear on your knees.
It is.
That you already injured.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like with a bone, it's different. Like so we'll take PG, right? PG snapped his leg in half.
Yeah, I remember that.
Didn't tear any muscles, nothing like that, but the bone snapped in half. And I would say he's pretty much the same player. He's still dunking.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty much the same player.
But you take Derrick Rose, who tore his knee, he tore his ACL, MCL, meniscus.
He tore his knee up.
So it's a difference from when you tear a muscle or a ligament compared to breaking a bone.
Yeah.
So
I think that's kind of where I'm at on it right now on cards himself. There's some football stuff. Like I love Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, I think he's a beast. Underrated.
I like Deebo a lot. So I picked up 1 or 2 Deebo cards.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
How do you feel about Jimmy?
I don't think anything different than I did last year. You saw he played yesterday, right?
I agree. Do you think
he's an average quarterback?
So do you think he's better than Trey Lance? What Trey Lance?
I don't think Trey Lance was even ready to play the quarterback position.
Why do you say that?
You know how many games he played in college?
Like 3, right?
Something low.
Like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, like he's not ready for that level of speed and what's happening around him. That's why if you notice his go-to was to tuck and run. The play he got hurt. He took 2 steps. Snapped.
Yeah.
Other quarterbacks will be in the pocket. If they're going to step up, they're stepping up to throw. They're not stepping up to get out of that pocket. And these are the things that people think about with Lamar Jackson.
So let me ask you this, right? Well, Lamb Jackson's a little bit of a different player than Trey Lance. But with Trey, so do you think the people that bought Trey, do you think he's a hold? Because you think he might be who they think he's going to be? Or do you think you should just let him go because he's not that guy?
I never thought he was that guy. So I never understood those plays. I know we all buy and do what we think. I'm talking about Wiseman. Somebody else could say, man, that dude's crazy. What was he talking about Wiseman for? He's injury prone or this or that. He only played 3 games at Memphis. So this is like the same thing with Steph. Steph was in ankle surgeries.
Yeah.
The first 2 years. And if you watch him now, he's braced up. His ankles are double taped.
Yeah. Braced.
And he's braced up in those shoes.
Yeah.
He has those shoes double tied.
Yeah.
If you watch him tie his shoe again, he's going through a process to make sure. And he's always checking on the court how his foot is in his shoe. There are things that he's always doing. And then like last year when he got his ankle rolled on, everybody didn't know how that was going to end. So those things, like we talk about Steph and people like that, that's why I believe in some injuries, some people coming back from them. Trey Lance, I just never thought he was that kind of player. I just don't see it. Even like with a Mitch Trubisky having a limited time in college, I just don't see that. And then Trey Lance went to North Dakota State.
Right, no way.
It's already a different speed. I can't say that people can't come from there. Jerry Rice came from Mississippi Valley State.
Right.
But I just don't see it from Trey Lance. He has a decent arm. I've seen some throws against Chicago Bears in game 1. I don't know it's all about the decision making. So what would I do if I had his cards? I would probably watch the market closely and see what are sales looking like. How quickly are they dropping? And if I want to recoup some funds, I would sell. If not, I will wait till he comes back because there's going to be a buzz when he comes back.
You think it's worth it though?
I didn't think it was worth it from day one. No, sir.
That's tough.
That's just me though. But that's not just Trey Lance. There are other quarterbacks I look at, and I'm like, that's not going to happen. Who's the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers now?
Baker.
Baker Mayfield hasn't shown me anything.
He's got heart though. He's got heart, and He's got heart, but I feel like he's a playmaker. He can, if you give him weapons, he can make something happen. Is he like an elite quarterback? No, he's definitely not an elite quarterback.
But would you put weapons? Would you draft people and put them around Baker Mayfield? Would you invest?
If he's my starting quarterback, I got to. If I'm a GM, I have to.
I think I'm going to look to go get a starting quarterback, and then I'm going to do what you just said.
But I feel like this, right? You can still put those pieces in place, even if he's not going to be your end result as your quarterback. You can still draft a top tier receiver
because Minnesota did that. Minnesota
eventually there's going to be that quarterback that's going to be available that's going to fit your program perfectly because you already have it set up, even though he may not be. You understand what I'm saying? So,
but Mike, this is what I say, right?
Yeah,
that's only like 2 quarterbacks, man, every 20 years.
That's like great or GOAT status.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody else is like okay to average to just bad.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What do you think about Russell Wilson?
I think Russell has seen his prime come and go. He played well at one point that he'll never see again. He's not going to play on that level. And I believe that Russell has some kind of hand problem. Because when you see him holding the football, it seems like it's hard for him to grip the football.
Well, last year he had surgery?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His hand is still not right.
Yeah.
So like last night, I saw him overthrow a guy, and it looks like he's just like I was saying earlier. It's almost like he's just holding the ball.
Yeah.
And he pushes it. So he overthrew a guy last night on a deep pass for like 10, 15 yards. That's not Russ.
No.
It's not Russ. I don't think he's the same.
I don't think him going to the Broncos was even really a good fit. I know he was trying to get out of the Seahawks, but I mean, I would have kept DJ Metcalf. I'd rather have DJ Metcalf than anybody that's on the Broncos to be thrown to if I'm a quarterback.
Yeah, DK Metcalf is a beast. I think he's going to be frustrated because he's not going to have the quarterback. Geno's not going to give him the ball like that.
Geno's not that guy. He's a backup for a reason.
You know, I thought it was interesting when Pete Carroll dropped dime, let me say, on Russ and said when he runs his left, he's not the same player. Why would you say that in public, man? It's interesting to me.
It's a shot.
It's a shot.
Yeah, it's a shot.
So I went to a camp in high school between my junior and senior year at Northwestern.
Okay.
And Pete Carroll was an assistant coach back then, and he was at the camp. He's a character, man.
He is high energy
character. That was I can't remember his name, but that was a quarterback coach. He used to be the Tennessee Titans back in the day. So both of them at the camp, and Pete Carroll calls everybody up in a huddle like an hour and a half early before practice stopped. And he said, if I can beat him in a race, 40-yard, 50-yard dash, practice is over. If he beats me, we extend practice. No, it was the opposite way. He said, if he beats me, practice is over. If I beat him, we extend practice. So Pete comes up with this. They go and start running. This guy smokes. Pete Carroll, man. He just, in 3 steps, the race is over. So we're all hyped because we know practice is over. Right. But Pete Carroll comes up with this stuff. Some of the stuff you've heard about him doing with the Seattle Seahawks is he's a funny guy, man. But I think he's also a guy that if you're looking for structure from your coach, I don't know if you're going to find that with him. And I think that's the stuff that probably start eating at Russ.
I feel that.
But I think Russ's career is just about over.
I mean, he got a Super Bowl. Like you said, his prime, he's on the downside. Very rarely do you have people like Tom Brady who, the last few years, I'm not going to say he's getting better, but he's definitely, it's here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I only think that's because Russ had that hand problem.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. But, when you play long enough at any sport, there's going to be something that happens that's going to hinder you. We just talked about Peyton Manning earlier in this conversation. There are going to be some things that happen that start hindering your performance, and I think that's Russ right now. I'm going to watch him each week. I want to be wrong. I'm going to tell you that.
How you feel about Lamb Jack?
Lamb Jack? Who's Lamb Jack?
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I think he's futuristic in what he does.
Mm-hmm.
You can't name a quarterback that can run the way he runs and can stop and throw a peel to somebody 40 yards off the field. You can't name. I mean, Michael Vick was great talent.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Vick didn't have the presence in the pocket like Lamar.
No, And people always question his arm, like he can't actually throw the ball. He's not the greatest pocket quarterback, but he can deliver it to you.
Oh yeah, he can deliver. He can deliver in stride to score the touchdown. I think it's one of those things, almost like another sport. Steph. People are seeing stuff that they have not seen, and it's difficult for them to put it together.
Agreed.
They got to put Lamb Jack. They got to put him in a box, but they can't put him in a box. His talent. Now he's doing far beyond what I thought he was going to do coming out of Louisville.
He's
on fire right now.
Yeah, he's a him and Jalen Hurts, man. Let me ask you this: who do you see in the Super Bowl? Who do you see potential now? This is coming on week 4. I got the game on the big screen right here in the background on mute. So, I'm
watching the game too. I got the game on right too. Yeah, we ain't gonna miss this, bro. I don't care if it's 13 or whatever. I still peeping.
It's 13 in the third.
Yeah, I'm still peeping what's going on. So, well, give me your question again.
Who do you see making it to the Super Bowl?
At one point I thought Brady and them would be there. Yes. I think they would still be there. They have to get people back and be ready to go. There's a lot of people hurt with Tampa Bay. But if it wasn't Brady there in the West, I would probably say Baltimore.
You think B-more?
Yeah. I can see B-more getting there. And in the East, I think it's pretty much up for grabs. I mean, I don't see a team right now in the East, in the NFC that is running away with something as we talk right now. It's going to be a war of attrition. It's going to be who's healthy, who can get there, and some quarterback play.
Yeah.
I don't know about San Fran. I just wish San Fran had a different quarterback.
Well, who? Like who?
I'm just thinking about characteristics, right? Someone who you bring up a good question. I can't think of one player, but someone who just doesn't throw into double and triple coverage when it's on the line, and someone who doesn't just hold the ball and take the sack. Like against the Rams, you knew Aaron Donald was coming.
Yeah, of course. Every week.
Will you hold on? There's got to be some kind of there's got to be some kind of person you dump into. Let your people win the game.
Agreed.
Or get the first down. Or get out of bounds.
Agreed.
I just look at Jimmy G, and you know what? I'm just going to tell you this. I'm biased. I'm just going to admit it. When Jimmy G said publicly he was better than Tom Brady, I just can't. I just can't.
Delusional.
I can't go with it. So Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? Are you a big believer in Josh Allen?
I am. Man, Josh Allen is my boy. I got him in fantasy. If anybody has been watching me the last few months, all I've been buying is Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the truth.
I see it.
Josh Allen is the truth. He is the truth. What's his McKenzie? Was it McKenzie? McKenzie? I don't know why he was trying to, instead of just running out of bounds, he could have made it out of bounds, but he was like trying to get like an extra little yard real quick. You know what I mean? But they could have won the game yesterday. You know what I mean? I just think he's a way better pocket quarterback than Lamar is.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar is a better runner, obviously, but Josh can still run. Josh can still give you 50, 60 yards.
He almost runs too much, and he almost on contact too much.
Yeah. But he's a baller, though. But, I mean, obviously, Lamar had a better game, obviously. But as far as a talent, I'm Josh all day. But I love Lamar, though. I'm a huge Lamb Jack guy, too. Very underrated.
Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield.
Neither.
I agree with that.
All right. Sorry, Jay.
No, I agree with that.
Neither, yeah. I'm not a fan of either.
I agree with that.
I'm not a fan of either.
I don't know what's up with Kyler Murray. I don't know what the deal is. Sometimes he throws the ball, looks excellent. Sometimes he throws the ball.
When we were talking about the size of quarterbacks,
he's smart.
When I said 5'11", like that's hard when probably your shortest lineman is 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
So when you say hike, you looking over these guys you can't really see, and that is going to hinder you being a quarterback, 110%.
I agree totally. Mike, we gotta have you on more often, man. I love talking sports with you.
I
love talking
whenever you want to do it, man, I'm open.
Yeah, Phoenix Rising says Allen needs to learn the side. He'll learn that, or he'll learn the play. But he'll learn.
Okay. That's how he plays. It's just like Big Ben. That's how he plays.
You saw what happened to Big Ben, though, right?
He's a champion.
Okay.
I saw Big Ben with a broke leg in the Super Bowl playing. I saw that.
I did see that too.
I saw that. So
I saw a clip the other day when Jerome Bettis was still playing in that Super Bowl, and there was a turnover, and Big Ben ran that guy down. And I was like, man, that dude doesn't exist anymore.
It does.
Ran that guy down and tackled him.
And that's your quarterback. That's your quarterback.
He's a future Hall of Famer. I just wonder, what do people, when you talk about quarterbacks, what is Big Ben going to come up at?
As far as number?
Well, he has 60,000 passing yards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying overall, when you talk about quarterbacks winning, 2 Super Bowl rings, what's Ben coming up at?
Let's say, I wouldn't say top 10, maybe top 20 all time.
Price up.
I think that's beyond fair. Like in that top 20, he might be anywhere between the 14 to 20 range in there. But he's definitely a beast. Like if he's in a draft and he's available, you get him.
What do you think of Joe Montana?
I think Joe was a great. Joe Montana's a great. I think Joey was a little bit before my era. You know what I mean? So I didn't get to see everything of Joe Montana. But, only thing I'll be honest, the only thing I've really seen of Joe Montana is mostly like YouTube videos.
I understand that. I only called, like, really paying attention to what he was doing on the field. The end of his San Francisco years when he got knocked out against the Giants. Then when he went to KC with Marcus Allen.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was like really paying attention to Joe Montana. Other than that, at one point I thought, Steve Young was going to take over the team. Joe's probably done, but he proved that he was not done.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think Tom Brady really is the greatest quarterback ever? Or Tom Brady just happened to be in a good system? Like we talked earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good quarterback in a great system that excelled. If Peyton Manning was in that same system, would he have the same success or more?
No. I think Joe Montana is a GOAT quarterback before Brady. I think Joe Montana's a GOAT quarterback. I think Brady is the best quarterback of all time. I mean, you could look at Joe Montana and make the same claim. He was a good, great quarterback in a wonderful system that Bill Walsh put together.
How do you feel about Patrick Mahomes?
I think Patrick Mahomes, this is a great question. I think Patrick Mahomes is about to enter the twilight zone of his career. I think he had success up front. I think he's about to almost struggle, get hurt, get hit more than he probably ever has in his career starting right now. And if you look at the game last week with him and Eric Bieniemy arguing on the sidelines, it's beginning right now. You never saw that before. That's not happening before because of the adversity. You don't have Cheetah to stretch that field.
Right.
You're playing a whole different ball game.
Exactly.
The weight is on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I say about Josh Allen. Josh Allen doesn't have a real tight end, doesn't have a real running back. So the weight is on Josh Allen's shoulders to get certain plays done.
I like Singletary, though.
He's not a 17-week, go get it, let's go to the playoffs and play 3 more, 20-game running back. That's not Singletary.
But he's a fair run. He can take the load off of Josh. That is what he needs. Like, I don't need you to be Derrick Henry. I don't need you to be AB.
No, it's not
I don't need you to be Zeke in his first few years. I don't need you to be that. But like how Chicago Bears had A-Train, I need you to just get the job done. That's what I need you to do.
Yeah, but A-Train was always hurt.
Yeah, but when he was on the field, he was balling.
Yeah, when he's on the field, he's balling now. I want to see a Singletary.
Running backs always get hurt because it's all day. You're running into bodies all day. So it's nothing new for running backs to be hurt. You know what I mean?
I just want to see if Singletary can get that team through 17 weeks and then 2-3 weeks left in the playoffs to win the Super Bowl. I just don't see that. And I don't even know who that tight end is. But if you notice Brady, when he plays, he's going to have some running backs to take the load off him.
Yeah.
He's going to have a tight end that he can dunk to. And that's why now not having Gronk, it messes with his rhythm.
Of course.
Because do I throw to Brady? I don't know if he's going to catch that ball. Am I throwing to Fournette? He's just got through running 5 times in a row.
Right.
Who am I throwing to down low to take that stress off me when Aaron Donald's in my face or so-and-so's in my face, especially when the playoffs come? Somebody's going to be in your face at some point. Who are you throwing the ball to at that point?
Hopefully Julio will be healthy for him when
I
it
hope
comes
so.
to the playoffs. Because
I
that is your safety net. Boom.
That's right.
Julio, Mike Evans, like that, those are your safety nets.
And that's what he has right now. So
Yeah.
now he knows if I step back and put the ball up, these 2 future Hall of Famers,
They're going to get it.
they're going to go get that ball.
Exactly.
They're going to jump over a person. They're going to outrun a person.
Right.
They'll even come back if I throw it short.
Sure.
If I throw it short to the sideline, they're going to come back and get the ball.
Exactly.
But this is why people say, well, Brady's struggling. Brady doesn't have what he really wants around him. I'm going to say it right now.
He don't have nobody to throw it to. Because Julio,
almost like he's back in New England before he left to go to Tampa.
Yeah.
He has the same kind of talent level around him. Sports Car Talk says he thinks Gronk's going to come back. Gronk was at the game yesterday.
He ain't coming back, bro.
I don't think he is either.
Why, man? It's over with. You're a legend, man. Just let it go. Just let it rock.
Wow. Dr. Mantis says Chiefs need the enemy gone for Mahomes to thrive. It's interesting when you get a little adversity. People need to leave now, huh?
Yeah. Change it up a little bit.
I'm telling you, I think Mahomes is going to be – we're going to see what he does. I think he's still a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Make throws that people cannot make.
Yeah, he's a great
he can read defenses. I don't see him thrown off by what somebody's doing.
But I think it's something for a quarterback to have that one receiver that you guys have grown with, right? Because at first you had Hunt, and then you had Cheetah. You had both of them. You know what I mean? And then the whole situation happened with Kareem Hunt. He's gone. Mm-hmm. So you built that number one receiver was Cheetah. You built with that.
Yep.
To have that going, it's the same thing with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Like it's the same thing. Like Devontae Adams is not going to do what he did because that chemistry between a quarterback and a wide receiver is so.
I agree.
Yeah, like you need that, and it's very, and it's like you have good receivers and you have great receivers, and there's a difference, right? And then the same thing with quarterbacks. You got good quarterbacks, you got great quarterbacks, and when you got a great receiver and a great quarterback together, you can't like Juju is not going to replace Cheetah on any scale.
No.
On any scale.
No way.
Oh. And then the same thing with Devontae Adams. Like you going to go play with your boy because y'all played in college. He's not going to give you the same performance that A-Rod did because he's not A-Rod. He's not that exceptional talent. It's because I think Derek Carr is like the lowest tier of quarterbacks, like currently playing. Like he is like you're a gunslinger. Like you have an arm, but your decision making drops off that performance of that arm so much.
Ball placement too.
Exactly.
It gets interesting. Sometimes he can throw a ball that's magnificent, and then other times, even with no pressure, I think he puts pressure in his head, and he'll throw something that's behind someone or too high.
Yeah.
And that's the same kind of stuff Matt Ryan does.
Oh man, don't get me.
So let me ask you this question.
Natty Ice.
This is a question I really want to ask.
Yeah.
DeJounte Murray comes to the Atlanta Hawks, right?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
To me, being a basketball player, like I was saying, the whole thing with LaMelo and Jello, right? And I'll say this. Trae Young is a superstar. You have to have a sidekick. You need someone else. I'm not saying that Murray's got to drop, 25, just like how Trae is. But if I'm dropping 30, bro, I need you to give me a dub. I need you to give me 20, 22. I need you to take some of the scoring load off of me, bro. And it's like, bro, you can get 10 assists too. Like, I ain't got to take the ball up every time. We could go back and forth. We can be Dame Dash I mean, not Dame Dash, but Dame Time and CJ McCollum. You
can say Dame Dash and Jay.
Yeah, we could say that Dame Dash and Jay. You could say that. You know what I mean? Y'all just got to get y'all the bigs and y'all good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I think the Hawks are going to have a tremendous year. Hopefully, they both stay healthy. But Javonte Murray is a dog, bro. The boy can play, and he's coming from that system with Pop. The boy know how to play basketball. You understand what I'm saying? He's learned from the greatest coach next to Phil Jackson. He's learned from the greatest coach of all time. You understand what I'm saying? So I think he's going to bring a totally different dynamic to the Hawks, bringing those lessons. Like, you know, growing up playing sports, you learn different things from different coaches, different players, and you bring that when you go from what you learned in 7th and 8th grade, you're taking that into high school. What you've learned in, if you play Pee Wee football or Panthers football, with what it is in Illinois, you know what I mean? You take that to every level. You understand what I'm saying? So he's going to bring a totally different dynamic into that system, into that locker room, and he's high energy as well too. So we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be a great dynamic, bro. Personally.
All right, so let me play this.
What's up?
Something Trey Young said yesterday at media day.
Okay.
The guys that I know who we had dinner with last night, we all believe what we can do, and we believe we can win a championship. I know I do. And, I express that to my teammates, and I know they have that same mentality. So, it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of us or anything like that. It's all about what we can do and what we show. So, I'm just ready more than ever to go out there and play this year so we can show that.
Does he believe that?
He believes that. Trey that dude, bro. I'm going to keep real. You a Curry guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Trey was, 2018?
Mm-hmm.
Trey's rookie year till now, his numbers were better than Steph's all across the board.
Oh, Steph got hurt. Come on now, Mike. Steph got hurt, and Steph is not I need to go score 30 a night on his team. He's not in that part of his career.
No, not part of his career now. But in his youth, when he first got drafted, that's what he was there to do, was to score. Same thing with Trey Young. But Trey has put up better numbers at this point in his career. Like the first, 3 to 4 years of Trey's career, his numbers are better than Steph's.
But Steph had ankle surgery.
I understand that. I get it. But he still was balling. He was still numbers.
Let's ask you this gut check. When you watch Trey Young play,
yeah,
and you watch Steph Curry play,
mm-hmm.
Does that remind you of each other?
Somewhat.
I don't see it at all.
As far as the shooting ability, yes. Is Trey a better playmaker? Yes. Stephen Curry is not a playmaker.
I remember you said this before.
Yeah. Stephen Curry is not a playmaker.
Well,
like Stephen Curry is not a true point guard. You're just short, bro. You're just 6 feet tall. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason. You're not taking the ball up, bro. You're just short. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, no, in the finals, you saw him take the ball to the cup, though.
I mean, that's cool. That's cute. You know what I'm saying? That's cute. That's cute.
My man.
Cute. But he's not a playmaker. You're a scorer. You know, if he was 6'6", he'd be a shooting guard right now. But you 6 feet tall, maybe. You're probably really 5'11". You know he's not.
Jalen Hurts at 6'2". You put Steph at 5'11".
I'm just saying he's not tall. He's not tall at all. Even Derrick, I'll say it about Derrick. Like Derrick Rose ain't really 6'3". Derrick Rose like 6'1".
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was crazy. That made up for all that. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Same thing with Russell Westbrook, but that's a different story. I can't stand Russell Westbrook.
Neither can I.
I can't, man. Trash.
I can't mess with it. Future Hall of Famer, MVP. I just don't.
I don't see that.
Oh, he's a Hall of Famer. They're going to get him in the Hall of Fame.
They'll get him in the Hall of Famer, but I don't think he necessarily deserves it. Just because you got the triple double, you got to do more than that. You got to do more than that, man. You got to be a winner. Like I really don't. I don't want to say Melo's not, but
Melo is a winner? What are you saying?
Is Melo a Hall of Famer? What
Oh,
has
yeah.
Melo done?
He's ninth all time on the scoring list. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. All right.
But what is Melo? Like we talked about earlier, Melo's just going to score the basketball, and that's about it. So I always look at net, right? And this is a stat that I guess I just came up with. I don't know if other people talk about it. Let's say you average 20 points a game, but you give up 14. You're really putting down 6 on the court, right? That's Carmelo Anthony. He's gonna give up points. He's gonna score. He's gonna go to the dome with it as he's going down the court. But that's all.
He'll give you 25, but he gave up 20 in the process of that 25.
And
he probably took 40 shots to get up there. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not going to take nothing back. Who is it? Tom Brady?
Yeah. Tom Brady is not the greatest QB, but he makes great plays and great moments consistently. Isn't that greatness? And he has the rings to prove it. There are more talented QBs.
Agree. Yeah, agree. That's what I said. I don't think Tom Brady is the greatest. I just think Tom Brady has had the greatest system in football history with having Belichick and having being with the Patriots and how the Kraft family ran that organization. That is the most consistent organization in the history of football. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if Tony Dungy stayed in Indiana for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no what could have happened.
Well, you can see right now though, Patriots have a system, right?
They do.
What do they do? Interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting prisons and things, right? It's interesting. It gets interesting.
It does.
Yeah, but when you got a certain guy taking that snap and putting the ball in precision, hitting the top of this water ball from 40 yards away. That's Tom Brady, man. That is Tom Brady. I think Mike froze again. He'll be back. Love what you collect. Hall of Fame, Melo Olympic. Melo has the most points ever in the Olympics. College ship and ninth on the NBA scoring list. Yep. And won't play a shred of defense. And I love what you collect. You know this to be true now. You know this. Greatness is when you don't throw an interception in every Super Bowl appearance. That's Montana. Yeah. Montana was clean when it came to the Super Bowls. Trey is training under Steph in the offseason. You might as well build a bridge to the future, right? There'll be a time when Steph is gone and Trey, hopefully, is still around. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing some comments. Prison of things, I would take all them Brady cards. Interesting. All you got to see is Bill Belichick record under 500 since Brady left, but Lamar Jackson still better. It's interesting how this stuff works. And only we lived in a what if world, but we don't. Tom's just that dude. It's hard to pick him apart. It's hard to go in to say, well, where's Tom Brady at, man? He's not that great. He hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. Who do I think is coming out of the East? Mike, you there?
Yeah, man. My internet shut off, so I'm on the phone now.
It's all good though. Usually, a lot of people, their phone gives them the best service.
Yeah, it looked like that's what it is.
Yeah. So there's a question on the table here. What do you think? Who do you think is coming out of the East in the NBA? Let me look at some things here. Let me do some proper research. See what's going on here. All right. Miami is a good team. I just don't think they have enough scoring. I'm coming out of the East. I'm probably going to go with Milwaukee or Philadelphia.
I like Philly. I like, James Harden, my favorite player in the league.
Really?
Yeah, James Harden, my man. It's hard out here, baby.
Really?
Number 13 is hard out here.
Now, you know what I like about the 76ers is PJ Tucker.
Beast. Very
I'm
underrated.
a PJ Tucker fan. Ever since he was in Milwaukee, man, the way he plays the game is like throwback. I think he's going to bring them a lot of grit and grind and get them where they need to be mentally. And I don't think he has a problem in, how would I say it, challenging his teammates.
At all.
And I like Maxey. I like Maxey.
He's underrated too. Shout out to my boy Walu in Philadelphia. He's a huge Tyrese Maxey fan.
Yeah,
I think Tyrese they got a squad, bro. They got a squad. And I think James. I think I was watching some film during the I guess the summer in the off season. Like James slimmed down a little bit. Last few years coming into the season kind of overweight, which is definitely messing with his hamstring. So I think now, man, I think they got the team to come out the East. I think the Nets are gonna be a problem as well too. I think Ben Simmons is going to be a problem if they get to the playoffs, yeah. Because you got somebody almost 7 feet tall that could run the point, and he's really unstoppable. He's really what
the best part about his game is his defense.
Exactly. Exactly. And he can go to the rim. If he's going to the bucket, you can't really stop him. Like he don't really have to shoot.
I'm just gonna tell you this. I gotta see it to believe it.
I understand it.
Especially with Ben Simmons.
I understand.
I gotta see it to believe it. What do you think of Cleveland? They got some things to sort out to me from a rhythm perspective. I got to see how Garland
and Mitch and D how they work. I don't know. Like you said, I think you got to wait to really determine that.
What do you think of Mobley? Do you like Mobley? I know we talked about Wiseman.
I think I like Mobley. I'm not impressed him like to the highest magnitude, but I do like him. I think he's a great young talent.
Yeah,
he's a great young talent.
I like him because he has a jump shot. He'll take it, and he has some. He'll take the ball to the cup hard. He wants to play. So a lot of big men sometimes can be timid. He doesn't show that.
We good?
Yeah, we good.
Oh, it kept flashing in and out.
Yeah. It popped in and out, but we're good. Okay. Yeah, but that's what I think about Mobley. I like the way he shoots the ball. He shows some tenacity, and now he's going to be playing with his brother. His brother got drafted.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Their father was their coach, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts on Justin Fields? We talked about this a little bit earlier, Big John. Got to get this guy some help. Put some pieces around him.
He is a exceptional athlete. He is I think he's a good talent. I like his arm. I like his legs. I like his dual threat. I think he can be what Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson is to the Ravens and to the Eagles. If the Bears actually got their stuff in order, he could be that for the Bears.
So let me ask you this question. Well, LeBron has a few years left.
I'd probably say like 3 to 4.
Yeah, 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Steph probably had, I don't know how long he wants to play. 34 years old, 5, whatever.
Right.
Who are some of the players that you look at and you say, I see some things, and these guys might be the future leaders of the NBA?
Well, I spoke on it earlier with Ant-Man, and I definitely said what I said about LaMelo being the face of the league when LeBron leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jalen Green is a very underrated talent. I think for his size, he reminds me of what Ja is right now. Ja as well too. Obviously, I think Ja is definitely going to be that dude as well too. Only thing that worries me about Ja, I just wish he really was more of a point guard than a scorer. You know, it's the same thing we were saying, you know, with Steph. Like, you're really a 2, you're just short. Same thing with Ja. Like, if you was 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", you'd really be a shooting guard. But you're short, so you have to be a point guard. But he's really not a point guard.
No, he's not.
No. So, like I said, you know, Ant-Man, Jalen Green, LaMelo Ball. I think Zion coming back, but I think he's an injury-prone kind of player. I really don't like how he keeps having these injuries with his lower extremities. You know what I mean?
You know, you're a big man like that, and you're jumping and bouncing.
Exactly. And see, that's the same thing I was telling you about James Wiseman earlier, you know what I'm saying, with his knee. But even with James, I think James, you know, if, you know, God forbid he stays healthy, I think he could be, you know, one of those top guys in the league. Obviously, Joel Embiid. I know he's still pretty young. I would say James Harden. I think James Harden probably got another, like, you know, 5, 6, 7 years of playing. You know what I mean? I think he'll still be a top-rated player. You know. So
what do you think about Jordan Poole?
I think Jordan Poole is a good player. I think you're a bench player. I don't think you're a starting player. But yeah, I mean, you're what Lou Williams is to the league.
Mm.
Jordan Poole, here you go, you can have it now. You know what I'm saying? Type situation. That doesn't, you know, that I could be wrong, I could be right, I don't know.
Hey, we all could.
Yeah,
I like to hear what you're thinking though.
Yeah, but I think he's what Lou Will is to the league. He's giving it to you now.
So now, why do you think Poole is a bench player, not a go-get-it starter? I have some thoughts on that, but what do you think?
I think you're more gassed than anything else.
Same thing, yep.
And like I said, I'm a ball player, bro. So if I'm a GM, I need that. I need the first person coming off my bench. I need you all gas. Like, I need 10 points right now, bro. Like, the offense is dead right now. I need a spark. I need right now. As soon as this buzzer goes off and I sub you in, I need 10 right now. And that's what Lou Will was. I can score anyway. I might not give you the best defense. I'm not here for that. They said coach said I need 10 points right now. Yeah. I got the 10. I can shoot this. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna dribble on you. I'm gonna do something. You know what I mean? But it's that spark, it's that energy coming off the bench. Like, this guy can score 3 levels. I can shoot the 3, I can shoot the mid-range, and I can yam it. You know what I'm saying? So he's all gas. But like I was saying earlier about, you know, you can't be that guy on a team. I feel like you can't just always be all gas. You have to be a really all-around player. And even though I say Stephen Curry's really not a point guard, he can pass. He can make plays.
Oh, I know you got respect for Steph.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That mad respect for Steph. Yeah, mad respect.
I agree with you. I think Poole has to learn to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
He has to learn to see the whole court. And Steve Kerr always talks to him about he has to increase his consistent defense. He has to set that up to get more minutes on the court, because you can see when he slips on defense that he's sitting down.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's all gas. Like I said, he's going to give you 15, 20 points off the bench, 25 points off the bench. But it's like you were saying about Melo, but he might, in that 20 points, he might give up 15. He might give up, you understand what I'm saying? So
it's interesting. I like the players that you listed out there.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. You know, we all know that the cream rises, and there are certain players that just become legendary that you never thought. Steph is a person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's calling that in 2009.
Right.
Nobody.
I mean, I'll say this: you saw it, but you didn't know. You saw it though. Like, you saw that. Okay. Well, if we talk basketball, let's talk basketball, right? His dad is probably one of the top 10 shooters of all time.
Yeah, no doubt.
His dad was strictly just there for that. We talk about 6 men, right? You were strictly just there to give me buckets. You know what I mean? So, and you could see that obviously he knew he wasn't athletic. He knew he wasn't going to be the tallest. So you have to find that niche. When we're talking about great players adapt, and that's what makes him great, is that he adapted to his environment. I got a ball. Everybody's taller than me. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the strongest. I don't have the best handles. What can I do to separate myself? I can shoot this thing from anywhere on this court. Then y'all know I can do it. Mm-hmm. My dad's one of the greatest shooters of all times. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just a skill set that is just that upper echelon. So
Yeah, Steph is that kind of player. It's interesting. Jordan Poole, it'll be interesting to see how his career. Because I remember when his cards started becoming very popular, and I thought the same thing. Like, let me watch this guy.
Scotty Barnes too. I think Scotty
I
Barnes.
think Scotty Barnes is phenomenal.
Yeah. Scotty Barnes is a beast. He's a beast.
He can definitely play defense, and his offensive game is no shambles.
Yeah.
Well, you talking about young defensive player?
He's a big boy, man.
Yeah.
That's a big, yeah. He can ball, bro. He's a baller.
That's be interesting to see how long he's in Toronto.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see more young players moving around than we used to see back in the day. After that,
I agree with that. I mean, that's been like that last 10 years.
That's true.
Yeah, it's been like that last 10, maybe even more than that. How long ago was that LeBron was in Miami?
2010, he announced it.
So yeah, 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So ever since then, it's like, oh, I want to go here. I want to go here. You seen what James Harden been doing the last few years? You know what I mean? I mean, even with KD, you know what I mean? So Derrick Rose jumping from team to team, you know what I mean? So that's just that's the dynamic of what the league is now. It's a 180. It's different. It's just completely different.
And I don't know if I have a problem with that.
No, I don't think so.
I don't have a problem with that.
No, not at all. I don't think so at all.
It's gonna be interesting to see how Curto manages this team. When you talk about Golden State, minutes, personalities, what people desire, what kind, people want to play for that contract. They want to show something. How he manages all that. It's gonna be very, very, very interesting.
What do you think about your Lakers?
Oh, I think they're trash. Good at all. And they're not my Lakers now. Let me call time out. They're not my Lakers. I watched. I like how you try to slide that in. What do you think about them Lakers? I just think they're not a cohesive team. When I say trash, let me break that down. They're not a cohesive team. Today, everybody looked like they were singing Kumbaya in the photo session. But there's a lot of stuff that it just doesn't match. I feel Patrick Beverly does a lot of talking. I just want to see how much doing he can do when it's time.
Like that?
Well, I mean, he's cool, but who is Pat Beverly?
Pat Beverly is a defensive pest. That's what he is.
That's right. That's what he is. So he's not. Don't look for him for points every night.
Well, he's a D and 3 guy. I'll give him that. If I put you in the corner, I pass you the ball, you hit it 40% of the time.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, but D and 3, that's what I need you to do. I need you when I pass you the ball, LeBron James, because LeBron James is the point guard. I need you to be here where Russell would be, and I need you to make the shot that Russell can't make. And
what is Pat Bev with some defense and a hand in his face? What is Pat Bev right here?
He's still a spot up shooter.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will see. We will see.
We're gonna be watching games. I'll be hitting you up like, bro. Did you see Pat Bev tonight?
That's what we was doing last year too.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I hope so. I hope Pat Bev is that because the Lakers need that. Yeah. They don't have that in Russ. Russ can't do that.
Can't.
Doesn't have that skill set. Can't do that. No. If Russ could just make his mid-range shots, he'd be dangerous. Can't do that.
Could. He can't do it.
Yeah, Pat Bev is. I know this is a 30% 3-point shooter. 36%.
Yeah, that's why I said 40%. Yeah.
Yep.
I know my numbers, man. Don't. I know my ball.
I know you know, but also he's not a good offensive player. This is my point.
That's what I said. I need you to be a D and 3 guy.
Okay.
That's what I need you to be in the corner where, like I said, where Russ cannot hit that.
He's a top. He's a top.
Yeah, that's basketball though. That's part of the game.
Well, it's definitely basketball. What Pat Bev. Well, we grew up. You're gonna have some chit chat.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be out here just looking
being
around.
Quiet. No.
You're gonna. That's why I tell people about Draymond from Saginaw, Michigan.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that. That's just how he started playing basketball. That's what got him to where. That's the edge he has.
It's a mental thing. It's because my thing is this: if I talk smack to you, and then I hit 2 shots in your face, you're demoralized. You're confident. I've taken that out of your chest.
Mm-hmm.
You steady trying everything you can to score me, and I just hit 2 threes in your face, and you ain't scored a bucket yet, and I'm consistently talking. You're demoralized. It's over with. You're mentally out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to consistently do what I've been doing, and that's what Pat Bev does.
Mm-hmm. It's like playing the line in football. When I get down, I'm looking right at Mike's face.
Mm-hmm.
First couple of snaps is all good. when we get to second, third, beginning of the fourth quarter, what are people looking like? Because I'm telling you, I could get down and look straight forward at a guy, and you get no eye contact.
Yep.
Then you already know you got this is a done deal.
Yep. So
it's like that in every sport. People can start the game one way
and finish totally different.
How you about to finish that game? So who you have win the championship, man?
With the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Might as well go ahead and say it.
Who you think I'm gonna say?
I will say it rounds with the Bay, huh?
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. Do I think Atlanta's gonna win the ship this year? No. Do I think they're going to make a run in the playoffs? Yes. I know I said my biggest loss was KD, but you have to understand basketball, right? I would put my money either in the Bucks or with the Nets. Okay. I'm more prone to, I want to see how Ben Simmons gels with KD and Kyrie before really making a decision. But that three-headed monster, I think, is very unstoppable because you can really put Ben anywhere. You can put him on any position. He can play the 1 through 5 and guard the 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that is so dangerous. If you put him at the 5 and he's running the point, who's playing defense on him? And Ben Simmons going downhill, everybody talks about his shooting. Going downhill, he still shoots from a high clip. Like he's still finishing almost 50% from the field. Everybody talk about his actual shooting from outside. But he's shooting almost like 50% from the field for his career. You understand what I'm saying? So that means he still can get buckets. He's still a force to be reckoned with. But, I mean, you got to think about Giannis as well, too. And that is a very well-oiled machine, that what they have in Milwaukee.
You do know in Ben's career, he averages 16 points a game.
That's fair. How many assists a game?
7.7.
So we'll say 8.
Mm-hmm.
How many rebounds a game?
8.
We'll take that. Is it 8 or 8 point something?
8.1.
8.1. So we'll say 8. And that's fair. Because the only ones that's really going to be scoring is those two. But as far as a mismatch, you already know when it comes to a playoffs, it's all about matchups.
Oh, yeah.
And there's
he creates a mismatch.
There's going to be a mismatch. If he's going to the lane, he's unstoppable. It's 6'10", 260.
The
like
only thing
LeBron.
I think about Brooklyn, I just think about consistency of doing something.
Yeah, it's going to be Kyrie.
We got to have Kyrie. Kyrie has to show up and show out. He has to.
He's got to.
Other than that, Brooklyn's done already.
You said done already.
If Kyrie does not show up,
yeah, he's done. It's over with. It's over with. Yeah, it's over with. I agree with that.
So that's what's hard.
I think it's going to be different this year. I think it's going to be different this year.
I believe so too.
I think it's going to be different this year. So,
believe that. So, do you have them win a championship?
It's hard to say. I want to see how Ben Simmons gels with them first. But I'll say this: if it is what I think it is, they're coming out the East 110% because they're unstoppable. Because there's no way Milwaukee can stop KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons. There's no way. There's no way you can stop it. And Ben Simmons, if I got a guard, like Ben Simmons can low-key guard Giannis and give him a little go for his money. Not saying he's going to completely dominate him. You feel me? But you can still Ben Simmons is a big body. You know what I mean? They weigh roughly about the same as Giannis is just taller. You know what I mean? So we'll see though. I think we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, who you got coming out that West?
I won't lie, brother. I like Steph. I like the Warriors. You know.
The only thing with them is, and I'm realistic, right?
Yeah.
So I like the Warriors. It's just about we talk about consistency and injuries.
Right.
because you can take they're running with like a little mini all-star team.
Yeah.
You can take that team, but who's going to be there on game 80?
Well, I feel like this. It's something I talk to Sky about a lot too. Same thing with Ralph. You know, they are a team with a lot of low impact players. Like majority of the time, Stephen Curry's going to make it to the playoffs. Draymond's going to make it to the playoffs. Clay will make it to the playoffs. They're low impact players. They're shooters. Where you got somebody like John Morant in the playoffs when your team needed you, you hurt your knee. You got hurt. You know what I mean? And I think they missed like 20 games with the knee injury that he had last year or something like that.
He missed 23 and they won 20.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, I think they have the best chemistry and the best assets to run it back. And I'm not saying that no one will get hurt, but majority of the time, it's not like a long-lasting injury that they have.
That's a good point on low impact. You are absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why I like Trae Young so much. Like he's a low impact player. He's not going to dunk, but he's still going to give you 30. You know what I mean? He's deadly from everywhere on this court because he's going to make a play. He's going to give you 30. So,
Mike, you make great points, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I love talking sports, man. One day I'll be on ESPN.
You keep doing your thing. You be a loud player. Well, you're definitely gonna be back on What's the Play.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely get.
We could do this every month, once a month, twice a month, however you want to do it.
That'd be great.
That's my word. We could do it. We could set a date and boom, that's the date every month.
You know what? Let me say this, man, and I want to let people know this, and it should already be known. But from the first time I talked to you about this, to us seeing each other at Delmar. At Burbank. We talked about it at Delmar a little bit.
Right.
Then meeting at Burbank and talk about it some more. We already had a date set by then. You have been nothing but professional, man, throughout this whole process. I expected nothing less. And I'm not saying this because I expected nothing less. I just want people to know that when you're dealing with Mike, he's on his P's and his Q's, man. I mean, I hit you with some questions. You told me you were gonna come with some for yourself. You have done that. I just appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too, man. I thank you for that compliment, brother. Like I said, it's been nothing but love and warm embrace from the first moment we spoke. Like you said, meeting on Melrose, a place that's not even there anymore. You know what I mean? And this relationship has transcended from that one interaction from 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, into now about to be 2023.
Well, we've always had good conversations. And when I meet a person, the energy that's there is positive energy. And it's a good interaction. And I think we know where we're from, so we can mess with each other. We talk about sports and stuff. We can joke around. Then we know when to be serious. And when great comments come through and your analysis comes through on, I think you said a few things today that I really haven't thought about it that way. And I love that. So some people think, man, FD likes to argue with folks. No, I come from, and Mike knows this, I come from a place where we grind on sports. We talk about sports in a particular way. It's not an argument. It's an understanding of facts, and then I'm going to present my position, you present yours, and we see where we're at, and then we go from there.
Right.
That's how I grew up talking about sports.
Right, agreed.
And so that's what I bring to What's the Player, What's the Flavor, anything I'm doing. Even if somebody invites me on that show, that's just how I'm used to talking about stuff. So for some other people, it may throw them off or maybe unorthodox for them, but on the South Side, that's how we get down.
That's how we get down, baby.
And then you take it to the football field, there's going to be some chatter.
Yeah, of course.
The basketball court, I have never walked up on a park in Chicago and there wasn't some serious chatter going on.
And I don't even want to say Chicago. I just feel like just sports. Just sports. It's like it's the testosterone, it's the adrenaline, it's the like when you like, okay, I'll say for me, like I remember not making basketball teams, and where I lived in my the little cul-de-sac where I live, in my mom's house, there was a elementary school down the street, and every weekend I would go down. This before cell phones, like, so I'm waking my mom up 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go down to such and such school, and I'm going to practice on the rim because I didn't make the team. Like the work that you put in, the moves, the cardio, the muscle, all of that, and you get yourself to a standard that you want, ability that you want, and you take that and you put yourself against the best talent that you're going to go against. If you're going to it's an AAU, if it's just a park district, if it's high school ball, if it's just playing at LA Fitness with your boys, or just it's a pickup game at wherever. You understand what I'm saying? You build yourself. It's like playing 2K in real life. You build yourself up, your skills to a certain standard and a certain expectation that you want for yourself, and you test that against somebody else.
I can remember going back to the camp I was telling you about at Northwestern. Myself, another friend of mine named James. We go in. James is deceased now. We're both in the same fraternity. He actually gave me a brand that I have on my arm.
You a Q dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
James has passed away now. But we go to this camp and we both walk in and we make a pact with each other, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an offensive lineman. I'm cracking heads in here. I gotta walk out of here with people knowing who I am. And what school is he from again? And he played wide receiver. So he's like, I gotta run these routes and catch balls on these guys. Know what's up. And I kind of take that same approach to almost anything I'm trying to do.
Right.
I want to do best for myself first. And then I want this thing to build upon itself so that people know I take stuff seriously. I'm going to laugh and joke around, but I'm going to be professional in the process. We started rolling with FD, Mike, to make sure we showcase people of color, women, and children in the hobby. Mm-hmm. And it was my objective, as well as everybody else's in the hobby, but I wanted to make sure that people who don't typically have a platform or a voice or don't get a chance to express themselves have an avenue to express themselves. Utterly important to me. Because being from the South Side, to probably any major city, I was sitting and looking at stuff about the hobby that I felt like this is not how my father kicked me off, and this is not what I've been trying to do while I've been collecting. So let me, instead of saying my voice is not being heard, let me speak up and say something so that then people can hear where I'm from, what's my story. I can have people like Mike on. I can have other people on to talk about sports, because I feel like, second part, sports and the hobby should be gelling, right? Like here, we've talked about players. Right. We've connected that with cars. Right. We've talked about the market. We went back and did that again with some other players and walked through that same process again. And that's just how my mind works when it comes to talking about cars. What is that player actually doing? Because I can't turn to this person and say, who do you think I should buy? I can't do that. Me personally, I got to look at this TV. Oh, there's somebody down right now. I got to look at the TV and understand, what am I seeing on the TV? Exactly. And then how does that transcend into the hobby? And then are these players hobby popular? Do people want to collect them, even though they have? And we saw Steph was going through something at one point. Well, he really wasn't hobby popular.
Agree.
A lot of his cars were underpriced until people started saying, man, this dude's different.
Right.
Sometimes,
I agree.
And that's what this is all about.
I agree with that 100%.
No talk, just hustle, man.
No talk, just hustle, man. Slow money, better than no money. We got to get it, man. Mr. Get It and Flip It. You know it. You know it, man.
The first time I bumped into you, we were looking at a Satchel Paige card at the Chicago National. And I was actually for your Instagram, and you started breaking it down to me. You're like, doop, 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 doop. Yeah, man. So I appreciate having you here, man.
I appreciate being here, man. I appreciate the invite, man. Like I said, we could do this once a month, twice a month, once a week, however you want to do it, man. You know what I mean? So I appreciate the invite of bringing me onto the platform and giving me a chance to have this interaction with you and let people see just the chemistry and the love and the embrace that we have just naturally.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'll be back here, but I know I'll be sitting and I'll see you on someone else's show. I'm like, Mike, giving them the same vibe on that show.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's going to be about. But I'll hit you with some dates. There's going to be some dates probably at the end of October. You let me know about your travel schedule.
Okay.
Could even be a Thursday.
Okay, that's cool. Like football. Yeah.
Yeah, Monday or Thursday, and then we'll always have a game on, and then I'll look at like November and going forward. I'll hit you probably with different dates and different months to look at. You let me know. We try to get a rhythm so that people who are watching know the rhythm. Mike's on, and then we go from there, man. And I'm not even afraid. You know, I try to stretch the envelope sometimes. Is there somebody on this show that you say you want to invite on? You just let me know.
Let's do it. I mean, I think definitely you should definitely have Sky or Wiz. You should definitely have, Wiz. You definitely have to Wiz the collector on. I mean, if you already had Ralph on, you already had Prism God on already. So yeah, for sure, definitely, you need to have Wiz on 110%.
All right,
110%.
Most definitely. I know we talked a little bit at a show. We met him, talked to him at the Mint. Kind of interviewed a little bit about his background, but I'd love to get his perspective on other stuff too.
Have you had Peter Pac-Man and RPS on?
No, I haven't had Peter on yet.
Have you had Love What You Collect on too?
Oh yeah, I've had her on maybe 3 or 4 times.
Okay. I know I'm probably forgetting a few people, but definitely I can send you something, but like at the top of my head.
We got people on together. Whatever you like to do, man. Because I've gone 3 deep before, and the conversation could be just as good.
Walu, my boy Walu too, Supreme Sports Cards. You definitely have him on as well too. But I'll send you all the information. I got you.
All right, bro. I appreciate it. Mike.
All right.
Everybody, Mr. Get It and Flip It.
Y'all know what it is, man.
Been a pleasure.
Peace.
Thank you, brother.
Love you, baby.
Love you too.